Come on, find the game. Well, good evening, race fans of the internet, and welcome back to TDTV. Of course, I'm your host, Mr. Ryan Williams, and joining me once again for tonight's broadcast will be Matt Bridgen, and we are coming to you live from the virtual Volusia Speedway Park in beautiful, beautiful Florida for round number one of the DOB 360 Sprint Cars for their 2022 B season. And Matt, this is sure to be a heck of an event here as we look in now. Your first group of practice is on the speedway. A lot of good looking race cars here as we look at some of the race info here. 69 degrees is the current temperature that was set for the session. Partly cloudy skies, winds at 6 miles per hour. So shouldn't be too much of a factor wind wise, and a great track here at the world's fastest half mile for round one of the DOB 360 sprints. Now let's take this away. Let's put up our ticker here and see what kind of speeds we're looking at. So far, Braden Eiler is your current quick time there in the 005. Matt, welcome into the stream here. The first taste of dirt racing here on TDTV. How are we feeling about this one?
Yeah, I'm super excited. Coming from a dirt background, the broadcasting might come a little bit more natural.
I'm really thinking so. And so far we see quickest time there for the first group, I believe, was Kevin Click in the 25 machine. Second quick was part of the Black Bumper Brigade, Mr. Braden Eiler, a World Championship caliber driver. A couple of other pro licensed drivers in this session here in the series. Tyler Schell will drive car number 85. I believe he'll be in the next or third group. James Edens will also be in attendance in the number 52, another pro license driver. As there you see the man who took the quick time out of the very first group. It was Mr. Kevin Click. As we bring this back up there, you see Click at a 13:07.5, quickest time over Eiler. Scheit, your third quick, Voiles, and Stevens rounding out the top five for group number one. Now we're waiting to see here who Chris puts out for the next group for the DOB 360 sprints. Of course, your series sponsors will be flickering down there on the bottom left hand of your screen this entire broadcast. Of course, Wicked Brands, one of the presenting sponsors here, as well as Wicked Cushion Esports of the DOB 360 sprints. And I really appreciate Mr. Chris Roberts for his asking me to do this portion of the 360 season. Of course, TDTV will cover the races in the month of September. Then the series will move channels. But your Thursday night broadcasts will all be right here on TDTV until the end of the season. Now, still not seeing anybody come back out on track as of yet. Chris told me that qualifying will start up here very, very shortly. But the winner of this of this series last season, Matt, was Mason Hannigan. Mason currently checked in here, a Class A driver. Mason Hannigan has been doing this a long time. I remember just quite a few years ago, I was actually broadcasting this series for a different company. Mason was one of those guys that was in there and winning just about every single week out. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what Mason has in store for us here tonight. But I guess we're just sitting idly by right now. Matt Bridgen, Volusia, a place that you and I both like when we're driving the sim. What are we expecting? What are you expecting, at least, out of this track here tonight?
First part of the night is going to be, locked down on the bottom while the track still has the moisture. But as the night moves on, we're going to see that groove widen out and everybody start to venture to the top. And then once we get to the top, that's when these guys are going to start throwing them slide jobs and haymakers, try to get every position they can get. It's going to get real exciting here later on in the evening.
It sure is. A lot of guys out on the track now. You see a couple of guys inching towards the top here. Adam Elby in the 74 goes sixth quickest right now. Cameron Pritchard out there in the number 21, as I believe this round is coming to a close. A couple of guys up into the top 10 out of this round. Of course, as I said, Adam Elby. Let's see, Ernie Williams Jr. into the ninth quick spot right now. Brian Moore into 8th. Cameron Pritchard rounds out that top 10. Here as we go into, I believe, one last group that will be heading to the Speedway. And here they come. There's Miles Jansen Jr., Mason Hannigan, series defending champion. Vinny Sansone, been doing this series for quite a long time. Brett Strickler will be in that number 38 machine there. Michael DeGrande will be in this number 47. Right in front of him will be Randy Shreves in the number 56. Tyler Henselman will be in the 49. George Streaker Jr. in the number 42. Todd LeBoob in the number 41. Casey Miller will be right there in the number 05. Ryan Broderick and Joshua Piquel also on the Speedway here as we work down your final group of hot laps from the world's fastest half-mile dirt track here at Volusia Speedway Park. Matt, this is a good-looking speedway so far. Brand new to the series. They are now doing fixed setups, so this might make these guys a little bit closer in terms of lap times. Might make the racing a little better, equal to that as well.
Yeah, man. Having a fixed race, fixed setup, that allows, it equalizes everybody else. Everybody's got the same exact thing, and puts it all in the driver's hands and his feet.
That it does is, I believe, this group coming to a close here. No real movers or shakers out of this final group. There you see Mason Hannigan in the number 1 car as he pulls down into the staging lanes. A couple other cars without times here. Brad Lamberson, Chris Sabaski, David Heileman, Harl Streaker, and Kenny Miller, all without time so far. So, Matt, so far, 47 drivers have taken a time here in hot laps. So that's going to set us up for a heck of an evening here because, man, we're into almost 55 drivers signed in here tonight at the Volusia Speedway Park. That can only mean that we are in for one heck of a show. As I believe, let's see if this final group's going to come out here. There they are. There's Lamberson, Sabaski, Heileman, all on the Speedway now. As there's David Heileman in his 360 machine number 49. 34th quick right now. Chris Sabaski out of West St. Paul, Minnesota in the number 51 machine. Car says 21, iRacing says 51, so to each their own. As Heileman into the top 21 here. They'll go 21st quick. Lamberson in the number 27 looked pretty good as well, as he will cross around the start-finish line here. I believe this session about to come to an end here. It's Heileman to 21st quick, but everybody's still behind that 25 of Kevin Click. He was your fastest in hot laps. I believe qualifying coming up very, very shortly from the world's fastest half mile here at the Volusia Speedway Park. Of course, we covered it a little while ago. Last season's champion was Mason Hannigan. Hannigan so far in hot laps at 24th on the speed charts. So Mason's got some work to do, but we do have solo 2-lap qualifying coming up next to determine what your starting lineups for features will be. And of course, we'll just bring up the times real quick here for hot laps. And of course, it was Kevin Click, the fastest car, at a 13:07.5, and then you go all the way through to see, I believe, mid-50s of cars, 52 cars taking a time here so far. So yeah, man, this is about to get really good as they all pull out for qualifying. We'll first look on with Chris Roberts, the owner and promoter of the Dirty Old Bastards iRacing series, and a lot of guys chucking in times already. There's Braden Eiler in the number 5. Eiler's currently the fastest at a 13.327. So a very good time for Braden Eiler. You see down there on the bottom of your screen, that's some of the cars that are on the track right now. Kevin Click, pretty quick so far. 5th quick for Click. Tim Alton, fastest on the Speedway in the 64, however, as he puts up a blazing fast time. And he will currently lead us to green. There's Kenny Miller now to the top spots here, Matt. They're switching that top spot on leaderboards faster than I can blink right now.
Yeah, he can't quite keep up with it. You know, everybody's out there taking times right now. It looks like mostly everybody's taking times. There's one more car on the track. That'd be the number 27 of Brad Lamberson. He is about to complete his second lap, so currently sits 15th after his first lap.
And then we'll look on real
And
quick
it
with
looks like
George
he will-
Streaker Jr. George used to be one of the sponsors of the series, now just racing it, looking pretty good here, coming around to the start-finish line. George Streaker Jr. We'll see where this last lap will put him. And he won't move a muscle. Streaker down around the 37th spot. So I believe that's about everybody as the checkered flag flies. Kenny Miller, your fastest car in qualifying. He will lead us to green. Actually, he'll start from the 4th spot, top 4 invert for these heat races here. So heat race number 1, pulling up to the speedway. And Matt, you've got Michael Sheridan on row number 1 alongside Ernie Williams Jr., Braden Eiler on row 2 alongside Kenny Miller, Vinny Sansoni alongside Carter Chevalier, David Smeal Jr. alongside Miles Jansen, there's Dakota Kuhn, Gary Offit, and Tyler Henselman rounding out the field here for this very first heat race of the season with the DOB 360 sprint cars here from the world's fastest half mile, the Volusia Speedway Park. And Matt, what are we expecting here? I believe it's going to be bottom dominant for a little while. Am I wrong?
Yeah, I think through the first few heats, it's going to be around the bottom. Towards the end of, I want to say around heat 3, mid heat 4, we might see them start moving up. But for these first couple ones, it's pretty much going to be locked down on the bottom.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with you there. As you see there, that's what the Volusia Speedway Park looks like, a sort of oval-shaped dirt racing track here in the beautiful state of Florida. One of my favorite places to watch in real life and one of my favorite places to run on the sim. I believe we're going to go green out of turn number 4, Matt, for the first heat race of the season for the DOB 360 sprint cars with Michael Sheridan on the point as the pace car exits the speedway. Sheridan off of turn number 4, not firing just yet. Is the pace car still out there, Matt?
Yes, I do believe it is.
Oh, it's way up there.
Giving
Wow.
the pace truck a little bit of distance.
Hey, well,
Yeah, you talking about the track? It's got a unique configuration. It's got that swinging out on turn number 2.
it absolutely does. As I didn't even see that pace truck way up there, as I had a little case of a premature call there. But like I said, it's Michael Sheridan on the point. Seen Michael in DOB action in the past, always been fast. And tonight will lead your very first heat race to green with Ernie Williams to his outside, Kenny Miller, Braden Eiler on row number 2, and we're on like Donkey Kong out of turn number 4 for heat race number 1, Matt.
Yeah, what a jump there he got. He's got a decent lead coming off of turn 2, about 3 car lengths, while they're battling for second, sliding by each other.
Yeah, side by side. Yeah, man, side by side, Ernie Williams Jr., Braden Eiler. Eiler down to the bottom in the 005 machine. Williams back to the top shelf now, single file back out. So that final transfer spot right now being held by Kenny Miller in the number 53 machine with Carter Chevalier right in behind him. So your battle for second right now is hot and heavy. But these guys behind him trying to take it away as Michael Sheridan continues to lead here.
Yeah, and Kenny Miller not safe just yet. He's still got 5 laps to go, but the 115 of Carter Chevalier right on his tail. David Smeal Jr. right behind him.
You're absolutely right, Matt. As Sheridan continues to lead, Eiler, Williams, Miller right now holds down the 4th spot. And he's got about a car length between he and Carter Chevalier right behind them, though everybody just about 3 wide. Let's see if this finally reloads for me here, as I'm having some technical difficulties with the ticker up top.
While you're having the technical difficulties, Kenny Miller pulling away from the 5th position of David Smear just a little bit.
Absolutely right. Williams and now Eiler back to 3rd. Now Eiler back to 4th as contact for Braden Eiler sends him to the back. Carter Chevalier going to take advantage of it, move into that transfer spot. Oh! Well, we
What a
crossed.
wild finish.
Yeah, we crossed there, and I believe, Matt, officially, Chevalier going to take the final transfer spot. Sheridan, Ernie Williams, Kenny Miller, Carter Chevalier going to be your transferees. Miles Jansen, Dakota Kuhn, David Smeal, Offit, Eiler, Hanselman, and Sansone going to not transfer out of heat race number 1.
We're grading them up for heat 2. We're going to have Nicholas McGeethy on the pole with Ryan Scheidt starting beside him. Row number 2, we got David Halleman. I'm sorry if I mispronounced names.
David Halleman.
Outside of him, we got the 64 of Tim Alton. 5th, we have Lane Stevens. 6th is Brett Strickler. 7th is Todd LaBoob. And 8th is George Stricker Jr. 9th is the 22 of Brandon Voles. 10th is the 4 of Greg Parmalee. And 11th is going to be the 82 of Harl Streaker.
That is correct, Matt. Man, this thing is whipping my tail right now. Trying to figure out exactly what's going on here with my overlay. Up at the top of your screen, it's not wanting to go away or reload, so we're just going to roll with the punches right now. As Matt said, there's Nicholas McGeethy in the number 73 going to lead us to the green flag here for heat race number 2 of a scheduled, 4 or 5, Matt?
Yeah, so far it's showing 5 heat races with a C main and a B main. I'm pretty sure you said there's how many people in here? 55, something like that?
53, 54, yeah. So we got
we're going to be going through all 5 heats in both C's.
Oh yeah, we are, man. Yeah, this has been a good night so far. Besides the technical difficulties, I believe that I finally got it all straightened out. As lights out on the pace truck here for Nicholas McGeethy, Ryan Scheidt, Tim Alton, David Heileman. Right now, your top 4. Again, Heileman was the quickest qualifier for this heat race, so he will start from the 4th spot. So we'll see if he's able to work his way back to the pole position. If he were to win this, he'd start outside row number 1 for the feature event. I believe that pace truck about to dip down off of turn number 4 here at the Volusia Speedway Park, and we're going to be green flag racing once again for heat race number 2 out of turn number 4. Matt Bridgen, it's on.
Yeah, and the 73 of Nicholas McGeethy off to a great start there. You see a little bit different from the last series we saw. These guys start on the leader, so they don't wait for the green flag. They start whenever the leader decides to. And now we see a caution come out.
Yeah, we see a caution here. I believe George Streaker Jr. At fault, and in that one, as you see that 17, it's dancing the wrong way right now. We'll hit that TDTV rewind button and see exactly what happened with George Streaker Jr. As we come down the back straightaway. Streaker on the outside there in the 17. 99 gets a little bit loose up into Streaker. 99 goes around, and then George Streaker locks it up and backwards into the wall, which brings out caution here on just lap number 1.
Yeah, and real unfortunate to see in a heat race, but these things, these sprint cars, you make just the slightest bit of contact, and there's no telling what that car is going to do. If it's going to just spin out, or if it's just going to go bouncing and flying around, or what.
You are exactly right, Matt, and unfortunate there for George Streaker Jr. that he was involved in this caution here with just, I believe, 2 laps in the books. As Nicholas McGeethy continues to lead us. Ryan Scheidt second, Heileman now 3rd, Alton now going to be scored in the 4th spot.
And running 5th is Brett Strickler. 6th is Lane Stevens. 7th, Todd LeBoob. 8th, Brandon Foles. 9th, Greg Parmalee. And 10th, George Stricker Jr. Still in the pits, and he's off now. Got his car repaired, and he's going to join the rest of the field.
Absolutely right, as the lights look like they're out from the pace truck here, as McGeethy going to lead us back to Green Flag Racing. Scheit second, Heileman, Alton round out the top 4 going to the feature right now. Strickler got a shot at a transfer spot, so does Lane Stevens and Brandon Voiles as the pace truck dips down off of turn number 4. McGeethy on the loud pedal. We're back underway at Volusia. Great jump for Nicholas McGeethy.
Yeah, I'm watching that transfer spot. Tim Alton holding on to it. He's getting the pressure. Brett Strickler, as Strickler goes around him to move up into the transfer position. Lap number 4.
Absolutely. So Alton and Strickler continue to battle here. Those two just about 3 wide. As we'll take the cameras in tight here and watch this battle.
As there's contact between Strickler and Alton, as Alton falls a little back after the contact.
Yeah, so now to the top 4, you see Brett Strickler there in the number 38 machine. He currently holds that 4th spot. Stevens and Voiles right there behind him, and caution waves again here, Matt.
Yeah, not too sure what happened there. Was kind of had my attention focused on the battle up front. So,
believe we had an incident here with David Heileman. Let's see if we can figure out what happened to Heileman as we hit that rewind button once again. There's the Heileman racing down on the inside of the 10 machine. No, nothing with Heileman, so I'm not exactly sure what happened there. As this thing is still bugging out on me, Matt, so...
Yeah, I'm not too sure what happened, what the caution was for. I didn't see anything. Unless I'm missing something.
Absolutely could be, but man, I'm having technical difficulties right now that is absolutely busting my tail. So I'm trying to get everything over here figured out on my end. But nonetheless, still in heat race number 2 for the DOB 360 sprint cars. Race leader is Ryan Scheit in the number 10 machine, as he leads David Heileman, Nicholas McGeethy, and Lane Stevens, your top 4.
I'm sorry for interrupting there, but the 17 of George Stricker Jr. spun out in 3 and 4.
Okay.
That's what brought that caution out.
Okay, thanks for clearing that one up, Matt, as I believe we're going to head back Green Flag Racing out of turn number 4 once again. With the DOB 360 Sprint Cars. Heat race number 2 coming at you. And here comes Ryan Scheit down the front straightaway, Matt. That'll be, 3 laps to go here, as Heileman in hot pursuit for the win, but the battle for the transfer spot going to heat up here between Strickler. Stevens now into it. That's Strickler and Stevens fighting alongside each other this entire time as you come around. What, Matt, now 2 laps to go, white flag, I believe.
Yeah, we saw Strickler try to throw that slide job on him, but just not quite there. That middle line seems to be running pretty strong right now.
Well, out of turn number 4, slide job for the win. David Heileman and Ryan Scheit across at the same time. Give it to Heileman. Scheit second, McGeethy third. Stevens takes the final transfer spot, Matt.
Now it's telling me something different.
Who you got?
iRacing. It's got Ryan Scheit at winning that over David Heileman by .007. That's what it's showing me on the results on the iRacing now.
Right. Very well could be, as I'm having all kinds of problems over here trying to get stuff to update. So, yeah.
But transferring was you had obviously those two along with Nicholas McGeethy and Lane Stevens. Now we're rolling off with Heat 3. Now you might start seeing you're going to start seeing that middle line. They're going to use it up a good bit, and probably next heat race it might start going up to the high line up there closer to the wall. But I think this heat race is pretty much going to be how you saw the last one end.
Right. And it very well could be exactly the case. Is out of turn number 4. I believe we're getting the 1 to go this time. Hannigan, Dykstra, your front row. Then I believe it's going to be Kevin Click alongside John Batista, row number 2. Alex Szerzynski, Chris Sabaski, Taylor Howell, I believe Ken Baum Jr., Shane Gallo, and Daniel Harrell got to round out this field here for heat race number 3. As we're going to come green flag racing this time, Matt.
Yeah, and Zach Dykstra in the orange number 18 is going to be leading us to green flag, like you said. And whenever he fires, and there they go, he's off for the races.
Yeah, off and running into turns 1 and 2. Dykstra, Hannigan battle it out for the lead.
Mason Hannigan slide job for the lead, and he will cross over the line in the lead. 18, trying to hold off for second place. John Batista holding off for a transfer, but the 23 of Alex Szerzynski able to slide by him.
So right now, Click holds down the 4th and final transfer spot. Szerzynski, now Kevin Click and Szerzynski, they fight for it. There's 2 cars down there on the bottom as one gets way loose. I believe that was Szerzynski in the 23 machine. Now Kevin Click back to the 4th spot. Batista, Dykstra, Hannigan. Those 3 are pretty much locked in at this point. It's all the marbles on the line, however, for the 4th transfer spot. Sabaski trying to catch Click in the number 25. There goes Chris Sabaski to the inside of Kevin Click. Click going to hold him off on the top shelf. Going to have all the momentum down the back straightaway here in heat race number 3. Click still in that 4th and final transfer spot as we go into turns 1 and 2 once again. Now Click going to hit the top shelf. Sabaski to the bottom. The Canadian in 51 trying to put on all the moves for a transfer spot as he sticks glued to the bottom of the racetrack, but now allows Kevin Click to escape him just a little bit here, Matt.
Yeah, we saw a little bit of contact coming off of 2. Now we see Sabaski, and now we do see a caution.
We do see a caution, and that caution was for Alex Szerzynski in the 23 machine. As we'll pick up here coming across the start-finish line. Szerzynski way up top, jumps the berm, then down into another machine and up into the outside wall. As we see on our TDTV replay, Szerzynski luckily going to catch back up to the rear of the field. So working a caution here with, Matt, how many laps we left to go in this this heat race here?
We got 3, but it's we got 3 green, white, checkered.
So it's going to be green, white, checkered. That's 2 laps left to go in this heat race. So Hannigan, Dykstra, Batista, Click, your top 4 to transfer in as we sit. Sabaski in the 51, the first car on the outside looking in. He needs something to happen here in order to get into this A main event without having to go to a B main a little bit later on.
Yeah, and Kevin Click was holding the transfer spot down there strong. A lot of pressure coming from the 51 of Chris Sabaski. iRacing 51 on his wrap is number 21.
That's correct.
A little bit of confusion there, but we'll try to keep y'all updated as we find this stuff.
Oh, I think I figured out my problem. As we go back green, we're going to go back green flag racing out of turn number 4.
Well, that's a good thing you found your problem, because as you just said, we're going back green, waiting on the leader to fire.
And that'll be the number 1 of Mason Hannigan, last season's champion for the DOB 360 Sprint Cars, coming back green, white checker style here at the Volusia Speedway Park.
Now we see Sabaski on the inside, and they make a little bit of contact, click up the track, but able to hold it nose to nose with Mr. Sabaski.
You're exactly right, Matt. As they go down the back straight for the final time, Hannigan looks like he's going to coast to victory here, but let's watch this battle for the 4th spot. Click in front of Sabaski, and he will take that final transfer spot. So, Matt, it's Hannigan, Dykstra, Batista, Click, your top 4. Sabaski, Howell, Harrell, and the rest of the field that came across for heat race number 4 there. As we pull up the results again, Hannigan, Dykstra, Batista, Click. Sabaski will not transfer, neither will Howell, Harrell, Gallo, Szerzynski, or Baum, as we roll out another heat race to the Speedway. And this one will line up as follows. So on the point, you have Stephen Hill out of Illinois, Tyler Schell to his outside. Row 2 will be Jeremy Zarfos from JZ Photography. Adam Elby will be to his outside. Larry Moody will be in the number 173 alongside Casey Miller. Chris Roberts, the Catfish, will be in number 93, rolling off 7th. Tyler Gary will be in the 28 machine, rolling off from the 8th spot. 9th will be Jonathan Lowe. 10th will be Michael DeGrande. That will round out heat race number 4, Matt.
Yeah, and what a race for the transfer in that last lap pass.
Absolutely.
That's just going to show what kind of racing we're probably going to be seeing in this heat race.
Well, I'm telling you, Matt, this feature, I'm so excited for this feature, because when this track widens out, these guys are going to be, 2 and 3 lanes from top to bottom of this very wide sweeping Volusia Speedway Park, and I'm absolutely ecstatic to see it as we're getting ready to kick off this fourth heat race of 5, I believe. So still 2 more heat races left to go here on TDTV. Go ahead and share the stream to your Facebook pages, your Twitter feeds, whatever your choice social media is we're about to take that one to go to green. And then we're going to kick off heat race number 4 from the Volusia Speedway Park with the DOB 360 Sprints, brought to you by Wicked Brands Incorporated.
Yeah, and when this track widens out, you need to show them the right rear camera, so that way you can see how close these guys are getting the right rear tires of these cars on the walls through the corner.
Oh, you're absolutely right. We'll break that one out a time or two, I can assure you. But for this one, for this start, let's jump on board with Stephen Hill here. Let's put you in the gyro cam and just see exactly what Stephen's seeing. I know the wing's in the way just a little bit, so let's actually run down and let's get in the cockpit with Stephen Hill, who's starting inside of row number 1, and there's that green flag, and Stephen off and away into turns 1 and 2, hard on the gas, and a little bit of a slide job up in front of Tyler Schell, and Stephen will have the lead down the back straightaway.
Yeah, and the 74 of Adam Elby trying to fight hard to keep his position, as he will hold on to it for the first lap of the heat race. But still, Casey Miller and Larry Moody still right on his tail.
Absolutely, Matt. You got Hill, Schell, Zarfos, Miller, the top 4 right now.
Casey Miller gets around Adam Elby for the transfer spot, but Adam Elby looking to answer in turns 3 and 4. And Casey Miller's going to hold him off for the completion of lap 4.
Yes, he is. 5 laps remain here. Zarfos, your new leader. Schell back to 2nd. There's Tyler Gary. There's Chris Roberts now into the top 4 here, Matt. This is getting good. Adam Elby trying to rebound. He's trying to get back into the top 4. You see there, number 74 car for Adam Elby. We'll throw it to the big camera up top to see kind of what the gap's looking like here. There's Zarfos across. There's Schell right behind him as Gary and Roberts trying to hold off that 4th spot from a hard-charging Adam Elby here with 3 laps remaining for heat race number 4.
Trying to utilize that cushion to get him a little bit of extra speed, but then Chris Roberts decides to jump up and cut him off from that line.
Well, we don't call Chris the catfish for nothing. Chris on the bottom of the racing surface, coming to the white flag this time. He's going to jump up top. He's going to take away the line from Adam Elby. Now Chris going to be forced to stay on the top if he wants this final transfer spot. Up front, Zarfos got it in the bag. Jeremy Zarfos will go in turns 3 and 4, and he will win it here. But let's look at this battle for 4th as Adam Elby, a slide job. Here comes Roberts. Back to the bottom, Chris Roberts for spot 4, Matt.
Wow, what a finish.
Absolutely amazing out of Chris Roberts, the catfish, in 93 to take the slide job crossover. And that'll take him all the way to the A main event. Real quick before we move on here, your results there for heat race number 4. Jeremy Zarfos, your winner. Tyler Schell second. Tyler Gary, and then Chris Roberts holds off Adam Elby for the final transfer spot. Jonathan Lowe, Michael DeGrande, Stephen Hill, Larry Moody, Casey Miller round out that 4th heat. Coming up, your 5th and final heat race number 5 here, Matt.
Yeah, and after those 2 exciting races, heat races we've just seen, you can only expect them to get even more exciting.
Exactly right.
Track slickens off, and everybody's trying to figure out the lines and searching for speed.
Yeah, man, this is going to be very, very good for heat race number 5. Looks like part of the Black Bumper Brigade going to roll us off from the point here. James Edens in car 52. Brad Lamberson will be in the 27 to his outside. Darren Detweiler, double D in the number D3. He will be starting 3rd. Outside of him will be Randy Shreves in 56. Cameron Pritchard, I believe. Actually, no, Pritchard will start 4th. Starting 5th will be Randy Shreves in 56. Starting 6th will be Tyler Isley in number 17. Starting 7th will be Joshua Piquel in 43. Starting 8th will be Robin Pardon in 14. And then you have Brian Moore and Ryan Broderick on row number 5. As we're taking the top 4 to the feature, 8 laps the distance here in heat race number 5. Matt Pridgeon, this has been amazing so far. DOB not disappointing here on TDTV as that iRacing pace truck dips down off of corner number 4. Edens Lamberson on the front row, and we're green flag racing.
And off to a tremendous jump there. He goes into the high side of turn 1 as everybody except for, I believe that is, I got my numbers all mixed up, excuse me, the 3 of Darren Detweiler. Now Detweiler's going to go to the top, and Brad Lamberson's going to get back on James Eden's trail coming off of turn 2.
Well, Matt, it was a hornet's nest for the top 4 positions there at the jump. Back out single file for your top 4. Edens, Lamberson, Detweiler, Pritchard, the top 4 as we cross the start-finish line there. And I believe Isley trying to make a challenge, but he's got a little bit of a ways to go if he wants to catch Cameron Pritchard in car 24. 5 laps remain in this 8-lap heat race. Lamberson currently 2nd. Pritchard trying to make a run for the 3rd spot. Detweiler holds him off. Now Darren Detweiler down to the bottom, Matt. Going to be 4 laps to go this time, halfway.
Yeah, we see Cameron Pritchard pulling off from Tyler Isley a little bit. And Randy Shreves, tucked in right behind Tyler Isley.
You were exactly right. So now Piquel got around Shreves, and now Shreves back around Piquel. Now Piquel back around Shreves. It's getting a little dicey here in the 5th position on back, but your top 4 still single filed out. Pritchard holds down that final transfer spot, challenging the 3D of Darren Detweiler. Isley trying to make a run, but he's got about 8 car lengths between he and that 4th position car of Pritchard as Edens leads us here on the white flag lap, Matt.
Tyler Isley looking to make a late charge, trying to climb his way into the transfer spot, but he is not going to be able to do it.
He is not going to be able to do it indeed, as the checkered flag flies for race winner James Edens. As we'll pull up your results from the final heat race number 5. if it'll work for me this time. Let's see here. Man, I'm having all sorts of technical difficulty, something I'm going to need to figure out before we go to the next event here. But I guess in the meantime, Matt, your B main is gridding, or your C main event, excuse me, your C main event is gridding currently. As we look on here, to be Randy Shreves leading us from the point. Gary Offutt will be second. Greg Parmalee, Shane Gallo will be row number 2. Row number 3 will be Stephen Hill and Brian Moore. Oh, there's your Heat 5 results somehow finally pulling up. Edens, Brad Lamberson, Darren Detweiler, Cameron Pritchard to the feature. Pakel, Isley, Shreves, Moore, Broderick, and Pardon to the B and C mains. As that finally goes down here. Man, oh man, all kinds of stuff that I didn't really want to happen. As you see, Shreves, Offutt, Parmalee, Gallo, Hill, Moore, your top 6. Eiler, Laboud, Szerzynski, Moody, Broderick, Hanselman, your top 12 for the start of this one. I believe starting 18 cars here for this C main event. As we go back and look even further, Broderick, Henselman, Roloff, row number 6, and it's George Streaker Jr., Ken Baum Jr., Casey Miller, Robin Pardon, Vinny Sansone, and Harl Streaker, the 18 cars here in this C main event. As the lights on the iRacing pace truck are out here, Matt Pridgeon, why don't you take us to a green flag?
Yeah, and 18 cars for a C main. Just only the top 4 will make it to the B main. So a lot of cars looking for those top 4 positions. I think it's going to get really dicey here later in this 12-lap C main as we roll into turns 3 and 4. The pace truck will dip off, and the 56 of Randy Shreves is going to jump on the start.
Absolutely. Shreves all over the loud pedal on the start here. Parmalee second off it as they go down the backstretch. There's Stephen Hill there in the 127. It's a hornet's nest behind first, Matt. Who's going to give? Whoa! Well, there's your caution. There's Gary Offutt all the way around in car number 54 or 94. And he will flip a couple of times, and that may unfortunately bring an early into his night, as he is down there all by his lonesome. Now the pace truck comes out, collects the field here, and we will be under a yellow flag at the start of this C main event.
I told you it's going to get a little dicey, but it looks like Gary Offutt is going to go into the pits to take a quick repair, or either fix some damage if there's no quick repairs.
Really, all we know right now is this car right here, Randy Shreves. What a jump for Shreves. Looked absolutely amazing. But now he's going to have to do it all over again if he is wanting to make first the B main event, and then he's got to make the A main from the B main as well, Matt. So this is going to be particularly challenging for Shreves or anybody else who makes it out of the C main.
Yeah, I just looked in the info tab on the iRacing screen here, and it says that there's no fast repairs. So he's going to have to sit there and let it fix as much as it can with the time he's got.
That is exactly right. As we're working caution here, I believe just maybe one lap into this C main event for the DOB 360 sprint cars from the Volusia Speedway Park. So it's Shreves, Hill, Parmalee, your top 3 so far.
And pace truck's gonna dip off this lap coming off of turn 4, excuse me. And Randy Shreves on the loud pedal once again, and hard on it, and high up into 1 and 2.
Well, there was a bit of a kerfuffle towards the back there. Issues with, I believe, Harl Streaker, Robin Carden, but they're able to settle it between them. So Shreves will lead us here over Hill and Eiler as we head down the backstretch. And what do we got here, Matt? Another caution?
Yeah, I do believe so.
Well, that's quite unfortunate.
Going back to look. Okay. Let's see. It involves the number 12 of Shane Gallo if you go back to lap 3 coming out of turn 4. Got a little loosen in the inside wall.
So we'll hit the rewind button, see what happens here for Shane Gallo. As, ooh, man, that looked like a lick for Gallo there. As you see,
yeah,
Shane...
luckily it's a simulation and there wasn't a real person inside of that car.
You were absolutely right, Matt. Luckily, it is in fact a simulation. As Randy Shreves continues to lead us here in the DOB 360 Sprints C-Main event.
Now, if he was in a motion rig, he'd be really...
if he was in VR, that might have threw him for a loop. As I believe 2 initial start attempts, 2 cautions so far, Matt. Not boding well for DOB right now.
Well, like I said, you got 18 drivers. I think it's down to 16 as we got 2 cars a lap down. 16 drivers trying to shoot for that top 4 just to make it into the B main. So everybody's fighting for every position they can get. Driving a little bit too close, driving a little bit too hard. You can't win it on the first lap. You can't win it on the 4th lap or the 5th lap, but you sure can lose it. So.
Oh, absolutely. As I believe we're going to have another attempt at that start this time as we're single filed out here. Shreves, Hill, Eiler, your top 3 coming to a green flag out of turn number 4.
Yeah, and Alex Szerzynski, excuse me, in the 4th position right now, trying to challenge for 3rd, trying to throw a slide job for 2nd now as they're going to get a little bit bobbled up, but they're going to continue on, now putting Stephen Hill in the 4th position.
Yeah, so Shreves still your leader. Eiler now to the 2nd spot. Szerzynski back to 3rd. Szerzynski now a slider to the number 005 of Eiler. Eiler back to the bottom and around him as we head down the front straightaway into turns on 1 and 2. Down the back straightaway, here we go. Szerzynski loading up another shot. Gonna keep it to the top shelf right now. Into that outside wall. Jumps the cushion just a little bit. Eiler's got a run on your leader, Randy Shreves. And now to the bottom goes Braden Eiler.
And Brian Moore is liking what he's seeing as they race harder and harder. He's catching up, and now they are single filed out. Does he have enough to catch up to the 127 of Stephen Hill?
Well, Eiler and now Szerzynski to the bottom. Eiler and Shreves throwing sliders back and forth. Eiler a good little lead. Here comes a slider out of Szerzynski. In turns 3 and 4 down the front straightaway. Crossover by Shreves puts him back in 2nd as we head off into turns 1 and 2. Szerzynski hops the cushion. Down the back straightaway they go. Will a slider be thrown here by Alex Szerzynski? Szerzynski thinks about it. He disappears off the screen. And now he's back behind the 56 of Randy Shreves. Now Eiler, great advantage for Braden Eiler here, Matt.
Yeah, we see Brian Moore stick his nose up under Stephen Hill going into turn 1. Now he's going to try to throw the slider. And Stephen Hill's going to get the crossover on him. But Brian Moore right on his tail. 1 lap to go for this transfer spot. To go off into turn 3, he's going to try that slider one more time. And Stephen Hill's going to be able to fend him off for the last transfer spot.
So those top 4 all transferring to the B main event here. Of course, it was Eiler, Shreves, Szerzynski, Hill. So Moore, Broderick, Sansone, Baum, Streaker, Parmalee, LeBoob, George Streaker Jr., Moody, Miller, Harden, all going to be done for the night, unfortunately, as your C main event comes to a close. But I believe up next, Matt, we got a B main event coming to the Speedway now. As these guys will line it up down there on the front straightaway. There's Miles Jansen in the 35 will lead us to green. Brett Strickler in the 38 to his outside. Chris Sabeski, Adam Elby will round out the top four. Joshua Piquel, Dakota Kuhn, Brandon Voiles, Taylor Howell, Jonathan Lowe, Tyler Isley, David Smeal Jr., Tim Alton, Daniel Harrell, Michael DeGrande, Braden Eiler, Randy Shreves, Alex Straczynski, Stephen Hill, all making the call for this B main event, trying to lock in the final drivers to tonight's 35 lap A main event here at the Volusia Speedway Park.
And again, the case being there's 18 cars in this B main feature. They are all going for the top four positions once again, so expect a little bit more diciness, some hard racing, a little bit of contact here and there. Hopefully no cars go flying, sliding around, upside down, all that stuff. So
absolutely, Matt, these guys are absolutely ready to do battle here. What we got, I believe 12 laps on the B main here, Matt?
Yes, 12 laps.
So 12 laps to settle the score and transfer us into the A main event. So it's Jansen, Strickler, Sabaski, Elby that have it right now. We'll see how far some of these other guys can come up in the field before this one is done. As we head down the backstretch here, I believe this one has all the potential to be an absolute instant classic of a B main, because you got 18 guys here battling for who's going to go do the feature, and we're unlike Donkey Kong's Jackson on the lap pedal on a turn number 4.
That top four pulled off just a little bit from 5th, and LB into the wall, and he is around, and everybody's going to keep it straight. He's going to fall to the back, and we are going to stay green.
Absolutely, we stay green here. Back up, whoa, big wreck on the backstretch, Matt. Big wreck on the front straightaway, actually. As I believe, does that one trigger caution? Yes, it does. So I believe we had...
Not too sure what happened, but it sounded like it hurt.
Well, yeah, we had, let's see, Tyler Isley involved there in the number 17 car. You saw it on live on TDTV. These guys were all over each other down the front stretch there, and no room to give for anybody. So we'll work caution here during this B main event.
After that caution, your top four shaking up just a little bit. Top three are still the same drivers that started in the top three, but now Chris Sabaski's in the lead with Miles Jansen in second, Brett Strickler in third. Brandon Voiles is currently in your final transfer spot.
Absolutely right there, Matt. Is these guys putting on a show so far? Let's see here. Yeah, Sabaski, good looking run so far in the 51 machine. Now, Matt, if you'll just take over for a second, trying to still work out these difficulties, man. This throwing me for a loop here. I'm not used to things happening that aren't supposed to be happening.
Yeah, that's unfortunate as well, and unfortunately, I'm of no help for you because I'm probably the least tech-savvy person I know, besides my parents. But no, look at these wraps for a minute, man. These trading paints, wrap schemes, give a good bit of diversity. See, the 22 has Bitcoin on his car. Now the green flag's about to come out, and Chris Sabaski on the loud pedal. Brandon Voiles in fourth, as Joshua Pickle is going to try to throw a little bit of slide job on him. Joshua Pickle's not able to hold on. Now we got the... Can't see the numbers. says 30. It says 33 on his car, coming on the outside, trying to take away that 4th position.
Well, you're looking at Brandon Voles, Josh Piquel, Jonathan Lowe, all there in a hornet's nest with 8 laps remaining here. As what do we got? Top 4 going to the feature here, and these guys are on it. Boy, can I tell you what, Voiles, Lowe, Piquel, all over each other. As we head down the front straightaway, once again, going to be 7 laps remaining here, Matt.
Brandon Bull still holding on to the 4th and final transfer position. Joshua Pickle and Jonathan Lowe still on his tail. Jonathan Lowe trying to roll that bottom side, not quite working. Now we see Brandon Voles trying to get around the 35 of Miles Jansen, and the 20 cars trying to follow right behind him as well.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely, Matt. See Voles, Piquel, everybody here about as even as it gets. So Voles in the final transfer spot. Lowe, Piquel, Eiler right there trying to take it away. How about Braden Eiler? Eiler from the C main event. He's up there battling now for a top 6 spot, trying to get into the show here. He's currently in 7th, battling with Joshua Piquel, and still right there on the bottom. Piquel, Lowe, Voiles, all right there together. Your top car here, Sebeski, has pulled out a heck of a lead over Strickler and Jansen there in the top 3. But then 4th on back, Matt, and it's as hairy as it gets. Look at this battle as we come across the line.
Yeah, and Brandon Eiler is hot on the trail. He's still in a okay position if he wants to make this transfer spot. A little bit of contact with the 20 of Jonathan Lowe, but he's going to hold on to it. Follow behind the 43 of Joshua Pickle. Is he going to make a move here in 3 and 4?
Well, that'll be, Joshua Piquel there in the number 43 machine as we come down the start-finish line for the checkered flag. And Matt, it went to Chris Sebeski. Sebeski, a great run there. He'll clock into the A main. Strickler 2nd, Jansen 3rd. Voiles rounds out the 4th and final transfer spot. Piquel 5th, Eiler 6th. So close for Braden Eiler. Just can't quite come up with the run that he needs to cement himself into this starting field of 24. And now, what do we got here? I believe we're going to open it up for some warm-up lap action. As your cars are sitting down on the speedway. Well, look at our results there from this B main event. If I can get it to pull up real quick, Matt. Not exactly what I was looking forward to here tonight. I was not expecting any issues, but we get in here, we start this stream, and heck, we have a bunch of issues, as you see here.
And that's going to happen sometimes. I think we're skipping warm-up and going to go straight into our 35-lap main event. Rolling off in the first position is going to be 15 of Michael Sheridan. 2nd is going to be 10 of Ryan Scheidt. 3rd is going to be 1 of Mason Hannigan. 4th, the 19 of Jeremy Zarfos. 5th, James Edens. 6th, Ernie Williams. 7th, David Heileman. 8th is going to be Zach Dykstra. 9th is going to be Tyler Shell. And 10th is going to be Brad Lamberson. 11th will be Kenny Miller. 12th, Nicholas McGeethy. 13th, John Batista. 14th, Tyler Gary, 15th will be Darren Detweiler. 16th, Carter Chevalier. I'm so sorry if I'm mispronouncing these names. I'm bad. 17th is going to be Lane Stevens. 18th is going to be Kevin Click. 19th, Chris Roberts. 20th, Cameron Pritchard. 21st, Chris Sebeski. 22nd, Brett Strickler. 23rd, Miles Jansen. And rolling off shotgun is going to be the 24th position. It's going to be Brandon Foles. See, the lights are off on the pace truck, so we'll be going green again with Michael Sheridan on the point. Again, the starts are going to be whenever he feels like firing. Now he's on the loud pedal. We take the green flag going down into turn number 1. Looks like the 10 is going to try his luck on the high side early on, with the 1 of Mason Hannigan staying down on the bottom. See a race developing here for... Oh, no we don't. We see a caution flag come out. Where my broadcast partner is.
I'm here just trying to fix our live timing and scoring issues that we have been having so far tonight, Matt. But I'm trying to get this back and ready for the next event on the evening. Because not liking what I'm seeing so far, I'll be honest with you. But as far as the series goes, these guys doing a heck of a job. As you see there, the caution, I believe, Matt, was Carter Chevalier involved in that last one there. And they're going to have to back it down, try it again here. So we're seeing some of these good-looking 360 sprints travel around this big half mile here at the Volusia Speedway Park. Again, there's Michael Sheridan in the number 15. There's Ryan Scheidt in the 10 car. Mason Hannigan in the 1. James Edens up there in the 52. Jeremy Zarfos in the number 19. David Heileman in the number 49. Ernie Williams Jr., Tyler Schell, and Zach Dykstra round out the top 10 as we sit so far, Matt.
Yeah, not too much position changing going on throughout the field there. Got a couple people swap positions. Hopefully we get a little bit longer of a green flag run after this next restart. I don't know if we're going green this time or not. I don't see the pace car. And the lights are out in the pace car, and we will going back to green and single file. Michael Sheridan on the loud pedal going down to turn 1. Mason Hannigan challenging third, and another caution.
See what we got here. Alright, so another caution. I believe, Matt, that I finally figured out what our issues are. Hopefully I figured out our issues, and I'll be able to get right back into this race here. So, as we sit... Yeah, that was a heck of a caution there. So, as we sit here, still 24 cars are on the speedway as they are cycling back around to see where everybody sits. I believe your leader should be Michael Sheridan there in car number 15. Matt, I'm sorry that I had I was having some issues there, but we should be good to go for the rest of the broadcast here with DOB Night 1 of TDTV's partnership with DOB, and it's only right that something would go wrong during night number 1. I swear, man, just my luck that something would start to go wrong here as we start a partnership with one of the the oldest dirt racing leagues in the iRacing servers. So pretty cool that we're able to do something with DOB here on TDTV. As I'm not sure what that caution. What was that caution, Matt, that we just saw there?
Darren Detweiler clipped the tire on pit road coming off of turn 4 there and caught up somebody else. I didn't see who it was, but somebody came in and hit him, but he did knock his left front tire off, so he's on pit road. But now we're back to the green flag racing as we see Mason Hannigan go way up into 1 and 2, and Mason Hannigan over the wall in turn 2, upside down, flipping around.
So that'll bring out caution again. Caution plagued so far here with DOB. As Mason Hannigan, the car over the wall this time, as he will head to the pits here. Unfortunate there for Mason Hannigan, last season's champion. I guess our leader continues to be Michael Sheridan. So far, Matt, we've tried three initial start attempts, 3 cautions. So not boding well as we sit so far for the DOB 360 sprint cars.
And you know you hate to see it when you just can't get that initial start single file, and you know, like I said earlier, you can't win it on the first lap, but hey, full send or no send, am I right?
Absolutely, Matt, absolutely. Full send or no send, says Mr. Matt Bridgen. So we've got the full send so far out of multiple cars, as Michael Sheridan is going to lead us back to a green flag once again. I believe we're going to end up going single file here for this next restart, Matt. As unfortunate as it is, I think it might be about what we need to figure out how to get this race really started here.
Well, we were single file last restart. I'm sure you were messing with your technology things.
Yes, I was. Yes, sir.
Pretty. But yeah, we did restart single file last time, so obviously we will start again single file on this restart. We still have Michael Sheridan on the point.
That's exactly right. So live timing and scoring will update there. Kevin Click out of the race in car number 25 as the pace truck is going to dip down off of the turn number 4 exit. And we're finally going to get going, hopefully, with the DOB 360 sprint cars out of turn number 4, Matt Bridgen. Here we go.
And a great jump from Michael Sheridan. And now, oh Lord, now we see, I believe that is James Edens way up, trying that high side right on that cushion.
Yeah, that was James Edens there in the number 53 machine. Edens, whoa, over the cushion is Edens. And over the wall goes James Edens.
Same exact way the one of Mason Hannigan did to bring out the previous caution. Starting to look like turns 1 and 2's the top side might be a little dangerous spot. The cushion might be a little sketchy tonight.
Yeah, Matt, absolutely could be, as that's been the cause of most of our cautions so far, as we saw James Edens, a world-class driver. Let's take the old replay venture here and ride along with James and see if we can figure out exactly what happens here as we're going through him. There he is in the pits, and here we go. He's on the speedway now. Let's see if we can see it here from this view. Edens into the wall, and then again at a turn number 2, and there he goes. The car just catches, and up and over goes James Edens. And we're going to play it one more time, and this time we're going to get in the cockpit with him and see what it's like to ride over that wall. There he goes. Oh my goodness. James Edens, not what you asked for whenever you check in to race with DOB, as it has happened to him here tonight, and James Edens presumably done for the rest of this feature event. But now you're on board with your race leader, Michael Sheridan, in car number 15. Ryan Scheidt currently in the second spot. Jeremy Zarfos in the third spot. Heileman, Williams, Shell, Dykstra, Miller, Lamberson, and Batista. Your top 10s. We've already shed this field out a good ways, Matt, as we look back on here and see that there's only, what, I believe 14, 15 cars left in this race currently. So, yeah, these guys, lap 1 has really, really been a problem so far here tonight.
Yeah, our racing's telling me it's lap 6. I'm not too sure what's going on there.
Well,
but
yeah.
Still, single file, not really getting a lap in right now, but the lights are off, and hopefully we can get some green flag laps in as Michael Sheridan now on the loud pedal. Great start. He's going to choose the bottom. Seems like that's where you want to be after you've had however many cautions in that turn 1 and 2 up there on the cushion.
Well, absolutely right. As we see John Batista back there, position number 10, up on the top shelf right in front of him. Oh, man, up into the wall was Brad Lamberson in number 27. Kenny Miller in the 53, starting to spread out from that 8th place car. Ryan Scheidt, your new leader, in car number 10, as Sheridan tries to battle back to the inside. So Scheidt, your leader here in car number 10. There's Michael Sheridan, the 15 in second. David Heileman, the 49 in third. Jeremy Zarfos, Tyler Shell rounds out the top 5 here, finally getting some laps in. 26 laps remain for the DOB 410s, or the DOB 360 sprints, excuse me. I'm so used to calling their 410 series that it's getting me here as we pull the cameras in close and give you a nice look at all these cars on this 1/2 mile racing surface at the world's fastest half-mile dirt track here at the Volusia Speedway Park. There's David Heileman there in the 49 all the way up into the second spot. Right behind him, Tyler Shell. Michael Sheridan round out the top 5. Sheridan started on the point. Now back to third is Sheridan. As Shell now back into the position. These guys, a 3-car cluster for position. Doesn't get any better than this right now. As we look back through the field just a little bit, 2 grooves of racing currently on the speedway. There's Chris Roberts, the number 93 machine. He's trying to chase down the 21 of Cameron Pritchard. Up in front of them, Dykstra, Lamberson continue to battle. There's your 73 of Nicholas McGeethy. McGeethy was great in his heat race earlier. Now falling back here a little ways in this feature event. Up a little further, Ernie Williams Jr. in the 91 trying to hold off Kenny Miller as caution waves here with 22 to go. Let's see if we can figure out exactly what happened.
Yeah, it was getting exciting there for a second. You know, a lot of 2 and 3 wide racing throughout the whole entire field, I mean.
And unfortunately, let's see here if it has to do with Tyler Scheidt. Nope, doesn't look like Tyler Scheidt. Possibly Kevin Clegg here. I'm not 100% sure. Ryan Scheidt doesn't look like he has any damage on the number 10 car.
Yeah, I'm not too sure what happened. I'm trying to find it.
Well, let's see here. Heileman still in second. Shell still in third. Sheridan fourth. Zarfos fifth here. This lap time in scoring throwing us for a loop as we sit right now. As Ernie Williams Jr. up to the 6th spot. Kenny Miller, John Batista, Zach Dykstra, Brad Lamberson, Nicholas McGeethy, Cameron Pritchard, Chris Roberts round out your top 13, and then right there behind them, let's see, Detweiler off the speedway. Who's that last car back there right behind him? I believe that's the 33 of Lane Stevens. Brent Strickler off the speedway. Most of these guys that were involved earlier off the speedway right now.
Detweiler and Kevin Click are coming back onto the track to fill out your 14th and 15th or 16th.
Thank you, Matt. Yeah.
Oh.
So Ryan Scheit going to lead us back to the green flag. I do believe that actually may have had something to do with Kevin Click then. I didn't see anything, but it possibly had something to do with Kevin Click as pace car off down the front straight. We're back green flag racing here at Volusia with the DOB 360 sprint cars off into turns 1 and 2. Scheit, Heilemann, and Shell continue their amazing battle at the front here, Matt.
Yeah, the 91. I've been watching the 91 of Ernie Williams running in the 6th position. He is running, living and dying by that high line right now, and now we see him drop down a little bit towards the middle. Fell back 8th after that restart, but maybe the high side is not quite where you want to be.
Not exactly as it looks right now, as currently Zarfos rounds out the top 5. Up in front of him is Michael Sheridan. Now David Heilemann, Tyler Schell, they want to battle once again, but Heilemann's got to make up some ground as he's got Sheridan right behind him, your original pole sitter. Now with 18 laps to go, a battle brewing at the front here, Matt.
Yeah, we see Tyler Schell throwing a slide job on your leader of Ryan Scheit. Not quite able to clear him on that. Scheit going to hold off the lead going into turn 1 on lap 19.
Yeah, Scheit, a good defensive line there. Good defensive line for Ryan Scheit as he was able to hold off Tyler Schell. Now Schell back to the bottom, Matt. I see another one loaded up. Oh, Scheit held the bottom. Schell had to go to the top. That averted the slide job, and this battle for the lead's about to get good. Look at the bottom. Here comes Tyler Schell. Slide job right up in front of the 0010 for Ryan Scheit. Scheit now back to the bottom. Scheit having to back off of it a little bit as Schell runs the defensive line here, Matt.
Yeah, and that's where I was talking about earlier. They're going to be searching for speed. You saw how, Tyler Schell decided to try to jump up top to gain the momentum coming off of the corners to get around Ryan Scheit. Now he's off to a half of a second of a lead. Now we got a battle between the 49 of David Heilemann and the 19 Heilemann and the 19 of Jeremy Zafros for the 4th position.
Yeah, that'll be a battle between Michael Sheridan, David Heilemann, Jeremy Zarfos, all for positions 3, 4, and 5. Right behind them, Kenny Miller, now the mix. Miller hard on the outside wall, though. That might be trouble in paradise for the 53 machine, as he's going to be quickly approached by that man you talked about earlier, Ernie Williams Jr. in the 91, now to the outside of Kenny Miller. 12 laps remain. Up front, it's all Tyler Schell right now. A half a second advantage over Ryan Scheit. And then it's Sheridan and Heilemann still battling it out for position here. Zarfos rounds out the top 5. Let's take our cameras back outside of the top 10. Let's look at 12th position. That's Chris Roberts battling with Zach Dykstra currently for 11th. Roberts to the inside. Dykstra on the outside down the front straightaway, and back up front Tyler Schell still with a good advantage here. You see Rowdy Energy on the front of that number 85 machine. You also see Flow Sports on it, as well as caution flag flies here, Matt.
Yeah, it had a little bit of contact between, trying to find the name. Hold on.
Let's see, did we have Lane Stevens involved in that one?
Yeah, there's so many different, they're not the numbers I'm seeing on here, so it's a little bit confusing. It looks like happened right there behind Darren Detweiler. Kevin Click and Lane Stevens. Yeah.
Yep, Lane Stevens, you see there, that number 33 gets in behind Click. Let's throw it in the slow-mo now and see what happens here between Karen Click and Lane Stevens. Click into Stevens. Stevens tries to push the outside, and he rides the guardrail looking like Jason Hodge a couple of weeks ago at Sumter. Up and over goes the 33 car, and that will bring an end to his night, I believe, prematurely. And the same to the 25 of Kevin Click, unfortunately, as Tyler Schell continues to be your race leader as we sit here with the DOB 360 sprint cars. I believe 13 cars will be left on the speedway. There's the final of those cars. That's Brandon Voiles in 22. Now, Chris Robertson, 93. He's currently 12th. 11th is Zach Dykstra. 10th, Cameron Pritchard. 9th, Nicholas McGeethy. 8th will be Ernie Williams Jr. as this cycles all the way around. 7th will be John Batista, Kenny Miller, Jeremy Zarfos, David Eileman, Michael Sheridan, Ryan Scheidt, and Tyler Schell. As Matt, I believe, might be coming back to a green flag out of turn number 4 this time.
We sure are, and we're going to see new leader on this restart. It's going to be Tyler Schell. What an amazing run he had on that last green flag run. Now he's on the loud pedal. Good start. Gonna roll that middle going into turns 1 and 2.
He absolutely is, and down the back straightaway he goes, out in front of Scheidt and Sheridan. Your top 3 right now, and here comes that inside groove working for Ryan Scheidt. Down the front straightaway we go. Going to be 7, make it 8 laps to go this time by for race leader Tyler Schell, as he works down the back straightaway here with Scheidt in tow. Heileman back there in the 4th spot in the 49 car. Gets back around Jeremy Zarfos. Miller, Batista, Williams all battling hard. So we go 7 laps remaining here at the world's fastest half mile. What'd you say? What you got, Matt?
Another car up and over on turn number 2 wall, but looks like we are going to stay green.
We absolutely are. There's Cameron Pritchard there, the number 21, as he got around Nicholas McGeethy. Now he's going to try and work on the number 91 of Ernie Williams Jr. up front, battling hard. Here comes Heileman in the 49, Matt. Oh, contact. Oh, big wreck.
Oh, flying. I just saw somebody fly across my screen.
That was Ernie Williams Jr.
Oh,
Caution will
Lord.
fly. And we're going to back it down and have another look at this one.
Wow.
As Ernie Williams Jr. just sailed it into turns 1 and 2 and was not expecting what he saw there.
Very unfortunate. These guys, running up front this whole race. All of them had potential to win it. Kenny Miller's escaped from that somehow. It's going to shake up our top 10 a good bit, because I think there's 3 or 4 cars. Yeah, 3 cars that got damage off of that.
Right.
2 got real bad damage, so...
well, we're going to see here that, of course, Matt, that started with a little bit of a locking horn situation between David Heileman and Michael Sheridan and Ryan Scheidt. I believe Heileman gets the brunt of it, as does Ernie Williams Jr., bringing an end to his night. So very unfortunate there for Ernie. So Tyler Schell going to continue to lead us here over Ryan Scheidt, Michael Sheridan, your top 3. I believe we're going to restart, Matt, with around 4 laps remaining here at the Volusia Speedway Park. Interesting leg 1 so far, wouldn't you say, Matt?
Oh, yeah. There was some good racing in there, nice close. A little bit of, well, not that last restart, but the previous restart.
Well, man,
saw that long green flag run.
I am excited to leave here and take the world's fastest virtual airplane over to Knoxville, where we will pick back up with the second leg of round number 1 for the DOB 360 sprint cars. And, of course, that's coming up here in just a little bit as the time continues to tick here, already pushing 10:30 p.m. Eastern. Not exactly what you'll see every single week from the series, but, of course, we had a few run-ins with the caution flag early and often in this one. We come back, 5 laps remaining. Tyler Schell on the loud pedal out of turn number 4, and we're back underway, Matt.
Now we see Tyler Schell rolling that middle again in the 10 of Ryan Scheidt, trying to roll that bottom, but just not quite there as we see him fan out to the outside coming off of turn 4. Kenny Miller underneath Michael Sheridan trying to take over that 3rd position.
Absolutely. As we come around, going to be 3 laps to go. Going to be 2 fingers from the flagman this time by here at the Volusia Speedway Park. Tyler Schell, your leader. 2 laps remain here at Volusia. Scheidt still second. Miller down to the 3rd spot. Good run for Kenny Miller. Michael Sheridan hemorrhaging spots as we sit. Cameron Pritchard rounds out the top 5 as we come out of turn number 4. Matt, going to be white flag. 1 lap to go for Tyler Schell, looking to win round number 1 for the DOB 360 sprint cars.
long as he holds his line and doesn't bobble, this race is his.
Exactly right, Matt, as he
It's a
heads
good
into
lead.
turns 3 and 4 here. Good lead for Tyler Shell. And off of turn number 4, holds off Ryan Scheidt, and Tyler Shell will win round number 1 here at Volusia. Ryan Scheidt second. Kenny Miller rounds out the top 3 here. Michael Sheridan, Cameron Pritchard, John Batista, Zach Dykstra, Nicholas McGeethy, Chris Roberts, and Brandon Voiles round out the top 10. Kevin Click, Darren Detweiler will also finish, rounding out 12 cars to take the checkered flag. Let's pull up your results here for this feature event. And then we will get a word with your race winner, Tyler Shell, before we head on over to the Knoxville Raceway. So there you have it. Shell, Scheidt, Miller, Sheridan, Pritchard, Batista, Dykstra, McGeethy, Roberts, Voiles, Click, Detweiler, all the cars that finished this race on the racing surface. Let's see if I can now go and find your race winner, Tyler Shell, as we'll pull him into the broadcast booth. Tyler, it's Ryan up in the TDTV tower. You got a copy on me, buddy?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We sure can. Now, Tyler, leg 1 of tonight, so far so good here at Volusia. A bit of a interesting start there to this feature, though, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, seen a lot of people crash early. Just I had to let a couple people by in runs and stuff. Kind of had to be patient and not get in my head too much to like get frustrated and stuff.
Well, yeah, man. You and Ryan there for a good 5-10 laps, putting on a heck of a show. You had the 45 kind of inch his way in there, so we saw a heck of a battle for the lead there. But once those sliders started coming, you were able to put this thing out front and get yourself your first victory for the night, possibly going to be 2. But before we let you go get ready for Knoxville, who do you want to thank on this race car for getting you to victory lane for the first time this season?
Just like to have to thank everybody that puts this deal on, everybody that put in money for you guys are broadcasting, go back and watch, and then Chris and the whole admin team, and then I was up Sim Sport and my sponsors, Portland Tires, Good Fence Apparel, and Just Logistics.
Well, Tyler, when you go back and watch it, skip through the heat race portions because we were having some technical difficulties. But that feature, man, you absolutely put them on them. So best of luck as we take the world's fastest sim plane ride up to the Knoxville Raceway. We'll see you in just a minute.
Yep, see you there.
So while we have time here, Matt, I believe the session isn't going up here for another couple of minutes. We'll have a word with your second place finisher from leg number 1, Mr. Ryan Scheidt. Ryan, a heck of a race there, led us for a little ways, and then Tyler was just able to get the better of you there. But take us through that feature, man. Car looked amazingly fast as we head towards Knoxville here.
Yeah, thanks. Volusia's always fun running through the middle. I just have a knack to kind of work the throttle right to get a good drive off, especially off of 2. But a lot of cautions there. It would have been nice if there was fewer of them. Perhaps I could have got a far enough distance out in front to where maybe no one could have caught me there. But running with these calibers of guys, it's hard.
Yeah, all in all, you come out of the first leg tonight with a second place finish. Looking for one spot better. Going to be a quick turnaround here before we head to Knoxville. Ryan, who do you want to thank on the car?
Absolutely. All the guys at Black Diamond Motorsports. God-given Nate Davis at Totally Tinted. Zach Rounds with Rounds Wraps and Tents. Ross at Velocity. And Tim Nichols at Tim Sims.
Well, good deal there. So, Ryan, going to be a quick turnaround here. Look forward to seeing you in just a minute as we head straight to the Knoxville Raceway.
Awesome. Thank you.
So one more driver here from this first leg. Kenny, it's Ryan up in the TDTV tower. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you guys.
Well, man, going to be a quick turnaround here. We head straight to Knoxville, but from down here in Florida, man, this a good showing for you here in this feature event as you were able to make your way all the way into the top 3 here. Take us through it, man. A lot of cautions, but some beneficial for you.
Yeah, definitely a good, clean race for us. Just tried to work my way through the field and kind of had a good groove rolling once. I'd probably say about like 6 or 7 to go. So yeah, we were rolling pretty good. So glad to work our way up through and get to third.
Yes, sir, and you were able to avoid most, if not all, the incidents there. You bring yourself home third, and and we head straight to Knoxville. But before we go there, who do you want to thank on this sprint car for getting you into the top 3 on your first event of the season?
Thank everybody at Phantom Motorsports, 129 Racing, Weichel Sportswear, Volusia Race Designs for helping us out.
Well, good deal. So, Kenny, great top 3 to start off the night. Let's see how you do in the next one as we head straight to the Knoxville Raceway.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
So that was your top 3 from leg number 1 here. We're going to take a very brief intermission as we set up this next server, so do not go anywhere. Take this time, stretch your legs, get another glass of something to drink, and we'll be right back with you here on TDTV. So welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. After the world's fastest sim plane ride, we find ourselves in beautiful Knoxville, Iowa, at the sprint car capital of the world here at the Knoxville Raceway for round number 1, session number 2 of the DOB 360 sprint car season for 2022B. Now, if you missed the first portion of our broadcast on the night, the DOB 360 sprint cars were down at the Volusia Speedway Park, and they were toppled by a man who I don't quite see in our session just yet. Oh, still don't see him. Oh, Lord. Your previous winner, I guess, not back with us just yet. But anyways, we got a bunch of cars already signed in here at Knoxville, here in Knoxville, Iowa. A few cars out on the speedway right now. There's Carter Chevaliers. We're just catching them all from a distance as we're up against the wall watching group number 1 take to the speedway. Ryan Scheitz back in the number 010 machine. He's on the speedway right now. Joshua Piquel in the number 18 on the speedway as well. See some time starting to come in here. Let's see if we can pull something up on the big board. Kevin Click, the fastest so far. We'll show you their best times. Click at a 15.249. Now Piquel at a 15.212. The fastest on the speedway so far. Now Piquel back to that outside line here. There's Kenny Hoffman in the 11 machine, now second quick out of group number 1. There he is, previous race winner Tyler Schell, now finally in the session here. So if you missed us at Volusia Speedway Park, Tyler Schell was able to take victory over Ryan Scheidt in the number 91 of Ernie Williams Jr. that rounded out your top 3. Tyler ecstatic about his win in his post-race press conference. Looking to go back-to-back here tonight if he were able to pick up another win here at the Knoxville Raceway, the home of sprint car racing, as it said, the Knoxville Nationals, which DOB just got done with their Knoxville Nationals not too long ago, and now they are live on TDTV for the very first time. Of course, if you missed earlier, I am Ryan Williams, the voice now for now of the DOB 360 Sprints. I will be taking over the DOB 410 Sprint cars as well, starting on Thursday evening. But for the month of September, the 360s will be live on TDTV as well. Now, we're missing the voice of Matt Pridgen. Matt unfortunately had to go to sleep to get up and go to work in the morning, but he will be sorely missed as a couple more cars start to head towards the speedway. We'll see if we can catch a glimpse at who it is here. As here we go, Zach Dykstra, Brandon Voles, a lot of cars on the speedway as well. Here comes Alex Szerzynski in car number 23. There's Zach Dykstra, Brandon Voles, David Smeal, Michael Sheridan, Larry Moody, Darren Detweiler in 3D. Yeah, quite a few guys out on the speedway here. There's Michael DeGrande in car number 33, as well as John Batista in car number 54 as he works into turns 3 and 4 here at the Knoxville Raceway. We'll turn it back to the statics and just give you guys a little taste of what these guys sound and feel like coming off of turn number 2 there. As this group looks like it's now done, let's run down your top 5 right now that you see on the big boards. Joshua Piquel at a 15.212 second lap time. The number 11 of Kenny Hoffman, the number 25 of Kevin Click, the number 93 of Chris Roberts in the top 5 right now, and the 558 of Brian Moore Sr. rounding out the top 5 as we sit. And taking a look through the entire field, it will now scroll across your screen. 19 cars have taken a time so far. DeGrande currently the slowest of those cars. But rounding out the top 10, it's Szerzynski, Moody, Chevalier, Foyles, and Dykstra rounding out the top 10 that have taken times so far. See who else we got entering the speedway here. Here comes Eric Wilmer in the number 30 machine. There are a bunch of cars on the speedway now. Christopher Lynn, Braden Eiler was a hard charger through the B-mains in the last event. He's in the 005 machine. Nicholas McGeethy also back in action with us here. Daniel Harrell will be in the number 31. Tim Alton in the number 64. Eric Whitener in the number 30 machine. Quickest out of this group so far. He's currently 14th on the big board. Like everybody about done in this group. I believe one group going to remain. That's going to have a lot of your fast guys in it. Cameron Pritchard, Mason Hannigan, Jonathan Lowe, Brian Broderick, Brad Lamberson, Shane Gallo, Dustin Griffiths, Stephen Hill, Chris Schaefer, Gary Offit, Tyler Henselman will be in this final group here. And we're going to ride right now with the number 1 car, last season's points champion, Mason Hannigan, as he comes around to take his green flag for his hot lap session. See how far up in this big board he can get. Tell you what, we'll take it a step further here, and we will ride from the cockpit with the driver of the number 1, as you're currently under yellow for hot laps. As you see what the inside of these 360 sprint cars look like, as now we're on the loud pedal with 2022 A-Season champion Mr. Mason Hannigan ripping the lip here at Knoxville. So it looks like that'll bring it into your hot lap sessions here. 2 cars still to take times. Don't see either of them. As it's, let's see, Gary Offit, Dustin Griffiths as the checkered flag going to fly here on hot laps as we head right into 2 laps, 1 car apiece for their qualifying sessions. Everybody looks like they're going to start to grid up at the exact same time here. Remember, only 2 minutes to get in a lap here. Let's see who the first one we see come onto the speedway is. Here's Kevin Click in the number 25 here. Kevin, a mainstay with the DOB series. See Kevin's first lap down the front straightaway comes the number 25 car. Click, a good-looking lap. Let's see where it puts him here. Down the front straightaway and into the back straightaway. Click, currently the fastest car, but he's the only car that's taken a time so far. Here's Chris Roberts in the number 93. Roberts currently the fastest car. He's outdone by Zach Dykstra. Zach Dykstra in the number 93 or in the number 26. Currently the fastest guy out there. As we also look at the number 17 of George Stricker Jr. done with his qualifying times. There's Joshua Piquel to the top of the board here in the number 18. Now Michael Sheridan to the top in number 15. They're trading back and forth the top spot like it's a game of hot potato. Now Braden Eiler to the top spot. These guys just can't figure out who wants it more, as Ryan Shack goes 8th quick in car number 10. Tyler Shell currently 13th in car number 85. And now Shell doesn't improve just yet down the back stretch here. And now the front stretch for Tyler Shell up to 7th for car number 85. Nicholas McGeethy comes to a rest. Ernie Williams Jr. comes to a rest as well. 30th for Ernie Williams. And I believe that's everybody to take a time, as time's going to run out here in just a moment. From the Knoxville Raceway, Braden Eiler was your quickest time in qualifying. As we'll actually pull up your qualifying results here and see Braden Eiler, who turned quick time. Sheridan 2nd, Pritchard 3rd, Hannigan 4th, Piquel 5th, Roberts, Shell, Dykstra, Detweiler, Scheidt, your top 10. And then we will let you view on through, as these were, I believe, your 40 cars to take times here for round 1, session number 2. As I believe this first heat race is gridding up to take to the speedway, and this is how they will line up. Starting from the pole after qualifying, fourth for his heat will be George Streaker Jr. Darren Detweiler will be to his outside in the 3D. Joshua Piquel will roll off 3rd in the number 18. Braden Eiler in the 005 will roll off 4th. Nicholas McGeethy will roll off 5th. Kevin Click 6th. 7th, Stephen Hill 8th to Alex Szerzynski. 9th to Kenny Hoffman 10th. And final starter will be Chris Schaefer, going for top 4 to transfer here into the A main event. For heat race number 1, who's your bets on? George Streaker Jr. has been fast in the past. So has Darren Detweiler. Braden Eiler was the quickest qualifier, so you cannot count him out. Joshua Piquel, we've seen him race DOB for quite some time now. Good for myself, most importantly, to be back calling DOB. One of the series that I cut my teeth on whenever I was just a rookie in this game, and for them to be the first series to really reach out to me after I started my own venture and asked me to come and do their stuff means a lot to me, and I'm having so much fun so far. Now that I've gotten rid of all the kinks, I hope I'll keep my fingers crossed on that one as we come down the back straightaway. George Streaker Jr. going to lead us to green here in heat race number 1. And now turn number 4, pace truck is off. Streaker held up the field for just a second, but now he's on the loud pedal, and here we go, battling down into turns 1 and 2. Streaker, Detweiler, Piquel, your top 5, with Eiler holding that final transfer spot, trying to hold it off from Nicholas McGeethy. McGeethy down to the bottom there in car number 73. And we're 3 wide for second. There's Detweiler way on the bottom. Streaker now to the top shelf, 3 wide for the lead. Eiler in second, Detweiler in third, and one spinning at the bottom. I believe it's Joshua Piquel in the 33. Back up front, no caution has come out yet. Streaker in the 17 will lead us here in heat race number 1. Eiler second, Detweiler third, and now a battle for the third spot as McGeethy slides up in there, and I believe caution will wave here. So caution will wave, I believe, triggered by Joshua Piquel and the number 18 or 33 that you're seeing on your screen right there. That blue and white number 33 car for Joshua Piquel going to be the cause of the caution here. George Streaker Jr. going to continue to lead us. Going to be, I believe, 6 laps to go when we get back green flag racing. Braden Eiler alongside Darren Detweiler. And Nicholas McGeethy rounds out the 4 cars transferring to the A-main event so far. So down the front straightaway, restarting here. I believe going to be 6 laps to go. Make it 5 this time by. As Straker continues to lead us. Eiler in second. Detweiler in third. McGeethy rides around in the 4th spot. That final transfer spot for Nicholas McGeethy. Down the front straightaway. There's a bit of a kerfuffle there for 4th. Szerzynski moves it to the spot. Oh, we got one into the wall. Kenny Hoffman hard into the wall. He comes to a stop and off the speedway. And now we look back on here at this battle for 4th. Szerzynski currently has it. McGeethy right there behind him to try and take it away. But up front, it's been all George Streaker Jr. as he continues to lead. Just a couple of laps remaining over Eiler and Detweiler. Szerzynski still rounding out the top 4 going to the main event so far. So that was 2 laps to go, coming to the white flag this time. And there it is, white flag, 1 lap to go for George Streaker Jr. in car number 17. As I believe, well, that actually brought an end to that race there. What just happened? Did we possibly run out of time on the heat race? I'm not 100% sure there. But we'll go straight into your results for heat race number 1. See, George Streaker Jr. got the win over Bray Nyler, Alex Szerzynski, Nicholas McGeethy. The final car to transfer into the A main event. Detweiler, Pigkel, Schaefer, Hoffman, Click, and Hill will all have to go to one of our 2 B main events. Now, heat race number 2 gonna grid up now. And it will consist of Carter Chevalier, Ryan Scheit, Chris Roberts, Michael Sheridan, your top 4. David Smeel Jr. alongside Michael DeGrande. Larry Moody alongside Ernie Williams Jr. Then it's Dustin Griffiths, Tyler Henselman, rounding out the 10 cars to take to the grid here for heat race number 2. So it looks like Chevalier will try and hold off Scheit best he can. Chris Roberts, great lap time in qualifying. He will roll off from the 3rd spot. Then DeGrande outside looking in as we sit. So is David Smeel Jr. Those guys itching for a top 4 finishing spot here in heat race number 2. So as we come down the front stretch here at the Knoxville Raceway and into, well, actually that was the back straightaway, into turns 3 and 4. I believe now the iRacing pace truck, the official pace truck of iRacing, will dip down off of turn number 4. 15 car of Carter Chevalier on the loud pedal. We're underway for heat race number 2 down the front stretch. And Scheit instantly to the bottom. Here comes the catfish. Chris Roberts with Michael Sheridan to his outside. Sheridan gets straight by Roberts, who is trying to work that bottom into the speedway. Now to the middle goes Chris Roberts. All the way up front, Carter Chevalier continues to lead as we go into turns 1 and 2. Once again, working lap number 2 here. Scheit right behind him as we head down the straightaway. Whoa, big pile up. I believe Larry Moody involved. Michael DeGrande involved. Ernie Williams Jr. was involved. And I believe we stay green. Do not stay green. Caution has, in fact, waved here with 6 laps to go in heat race number 2. As Carter Chevalier currently leads Ryan Scheit, Michael Sheridan, David Smeel, your top 3. Of course, as always, your presenting sponsors for the DOB 360 Sprint cars being displayed on the bottom left hand of your screen. So give them all a visit on the interwebs whenever you can. Of course, Wicked Cushion Esports. one of the presenting sponsors as well. Forrest weighing an I-55. I guess he's the I-55 lawyer in Missouri. He's located near Interstate 55 in Missouri. Wicked Brands Incorporated, also one of your presenting sponsors, as well as Jay-Z Photography, all coming together to present to you the DOB 360 Sprints Round 1, Session 1 and 2, as we continue to work down heat race number 1 of session, or heat race number 2 of session number 2 here from the Knoxville Raceway, the home of sprint car racing. Back to racing we go. Carter Chevalier back to the point here in car number 115. Shiite rides in second. Sheridan rides in the third spot. We take a look from the up top camera as your top three continue to try and march away from fourth. Fourth right now being held down by David Schmiel Jr. Roberts rides in the fifth spot. They're in car number 93. Not quite sure what the red's doing there on your screen, but it's gone away here as Chris Roberts continues to try and march down Schmiel for position number 4, that final transfer spot. As up front, getting good between Chevalier and Scheidt. As now Roberts into position number 4. Good burst of speed there from Chris Roberts, and back behind him you got a car that continues to fall further and further back, but Carter Chevalier up front, untouched by Ryan Scheidt so far, as he continues to lead here with, I believe, going to be just 3 laps remaining here in heat race number 2. So that looks like it'll bring an end to heat race number 2. Chevalier able to pick up the victory. And we'll pull up your results for said heat race number 2, if we can here. Or if we're going to have some more difficulties like we did during heats of the first event of the night. He's just got a mind of its own, doesn't it, fellas? This thing has an absolute mind of its own tonight. I might have to do a little bit of a delete and re-download before our next event. But as far as a broadcast goes, pretty good racing so far. As heat race number 3 takes to the staging lanes and on to the speedway. Go ahead and take this down for the time being. There we go. As Miles Jansen Jr. will be there in that car number 35 on the inside, row number 1. Eric Whitener, Tyler Schill, your session 1 winner. Cameron Pritchard in the 21. Daniel Harrell, John Batista. Let's see, Brad Lamberson, Ryan Broderick, Jonathan Lowe, Lane Stevens going to round out this field as we, I believe, are going to come around and take a green flag to start here. Heat race number 3 for the DOB 360 sprint cars from the Knoxville Raceway. We'll reload the textures and send to green flag racing only once. Miles Jansen Jr. on the loud pedal. Tyler Shell instantly into the second spot. Here comes Whitner. Whoa, big run from Eric Whitner. Gets right up behind Tyler Shell's number 85 machine. Cameron Pritchard right there. There goes John Batista. We're 3 wide for the 4th spot right now. Shell currently has it. He's down stuck on the bottom, though. 2 cars get locked together. 71 of Ryan Broderick, 27 of Lane Stevens. But back up front, still green flag racing for the time being. As Miles Jansen Jr. leads Eric Whitener. Cameron Pritchard, Daniel Harrell rounds out the top 4. Tyler Shell trying to do it the long way now. He's outside of the transfer, looking in. Whoa, Shell almost into the 31 of Daniel Harrell. Now John Batista able to get around the 85 of Tyler Shell, puts him back a spot back behind them. Lamberson was battling with Lowe. Unfortunately, neither car able to go in the right direction right now to catch up with this top 4. And Tyler Shell just picked up a huge win and now has a heck of a ways to go as he finds himself in the 6th spot behind John Batista. Daniel Harrell currently holds down that 4th and final transfer spot. Battle for the lead. Here we go. Or battle for second, excuse me. No, but that is a battle for the lead. That car in front of them is a lap down. There's Miles Jansen Jr., Eric Whitener battling for position number 1 right now. Jansen to the top shelf. Whitener back to the bottom. Here we go. This one's for all the marbles. As we head off into turns 1 and 2. And down the back straight away we go here at Knoxville. Jansen and Whitener in a heck of a battle so far. As we come across, don't see a flag just yet, so only going to be 2 laps to go this time. As now Whitener to the point with Jansen right in behind him. Slide jump from Whitener going to clear Jansen. Jansen back down to the bottom. Here we go. 1 lap to go. White flag out this time. Jansen to the top shelf. Slide job. Whitener back to the bottom. Going to be a photo finish at the line if we get there. To the bottom. Slide job. Eric Whitener. Contact. And here we go. Pritchard looks like he's going to take it. Yes, he does. Cameron Pritchard. I had to catch my breath, but Cameron Pritchard is your winner here in heat race number 3. As that one turned crazy very quickly. Goodness. Cameron Pritchard able to come out victorious in heat race number 3. We'll see if your results pull up. There we go. Cameron Pritchard holds off Eric Whitener. John Batista. Miles Jansen comes home in the 4th spot. 5th goes to Tyler Shell. 1 spot outside of a transfer for your Session 1 winner. Brad Lamberson, Daniel Harrell, Jonathan Lowe, Lane Stevens, and Ryan Broderick round out the 10 cars there in heat race number 3. Coming up, I believe, going to be your 4th and final heat race of the night here, as Brandon Voiles going to lead us to the green flag. Here in heat race number 3, Brian Moore Sr. will be to his outside. Then it's Zach Dykstra. Voiles Moore Sr. Row 2, Dykstra, Mason Hannigan. Row 3, Tim Alton, Harl Streaker. Row 4, Christopher Lynn, Gary Offit. And row 5, Greg Parmalee and Shane Gallo. As it looks like lights out on the iRacing Chevy Silverado pace truck. And we're going to come green flag racing out of turn number 4. For heat race number 4, the 4th and final heat race of the night. Here at the Knoxville Raceway, the sprint car capital of the world. Hear the thunder, feel the power of these DOB 360 sprint cars off of turn number 4. Green flag gonna fly this time. It's Voiles, Dykstra, Moore, Hannigan. They will advance if they can all stay in that 1, 2, 3, 4 order. Hannigan already to 3rd. Streaker to the 4th spot. There's a big cluster of cars from 3rd on back. Look at Mason Hannigan on the bottom. They're the number 1 machine, the 1 star. Mason Hannigan trying to make something happen here. I'll fall back to 4th at the time. There's Tim Alton there in the 54 machine. Brian Moore right there in his number 558. Christopher Lynn in the 4 machine alongside the 126. And whoa, there's one up and over. That's Tim Alton. Let's see if we're triggered with a yellow here. Nope, still green. 6 laps remain. Looks like our live timing and scoring working for this final heat race here. There's Brandon Voiles in car number 22, your current leader. Zach Dykstra second. Harl Streaker, Harls and George Streaker Jr., obviously brothers that race this series together. There's Mason Hannigan, though. Mason luckily avoided all contact so far. He's currently in that 4th spot. 5th, 1 spot out. Looking in is Brian Moore Sr. So 4 laps remain here in heat race number 4. Dykstra rolling in on Voiles here to try and take this heat race win away from car number 22. As now Zach Dykstra looking pretty good as Hannigan starting to make a charge at Streaker. To the bottom goes Hannigan. Slide job right in front of Harl Streaker. Streaker back to the bottom in number 87. And contact! Hannigan and Streaker together. This is going to be bad news, Bears. Gallo gets around him. Caution flag waves. Morgan in here at the 3rd spot. Gallo to 4th. And that will change this one up dramatically as Hannigan and Streaker get together. So Hannigan and Streaker get together here with just 2 laps remaining, battling for position. Streaker off the track. Hannigan not sure what's going on with him. Might be wanting his spot back. Not sure if he's going to get it. Or he may get his spot back per iRacing. Not 100% sure here, but right now Mason Hannigan back in that 3rd spot, but he's got a long ways to hold on. Just look at the damage on that number 1 star for Mason Hannigan as we see him crab walking sideways. Not at all where you want to be if you are defending series champion Mason Hannigan. And there he goes. Hannigan gonna be off and into the pit road here. So Mason's heat race night is done, and he's gonna have to do it the extremely long way as defending series champion Mason Hannigan. Unfortunate twist of events there for the young man in car number 1. But back to the race here. Brandon Voiles going to lead us back to a green flag. I believe lights still on the pace truck. And they will go out this time. So going to restart here with a green-white checkered attempt. Number 1 for the DOB 360 Sprint Cars, brought to you by Wicked Cushion Esports. Pace truck is off. 22's on the loud pedal. We're back underway. Green-white checker style here at the Knoxville Raceway with the DOB 360 Sprints. Zach Dykstra currently in second. Get ready to load up a shot to give it to Brandon Voiles. Voiles leads him into turns 3 and 4. Coming out and yellow flag again. See if we can find this here. Yellow flag. I believe Parmalee involved in the number 4. As we're going to take it to the TDTV replay for the first time here at Knoxville and see what happens as we come off of turn number 4. Contact made between he and Christopher Lynn. And that puts the 4 car into the inside guardrail. Hopefully not going to end his night as, again, that was Greg Parmalee. Parmalee off the speedway, though, so that may, in fact, bring an end to his heat racing night. So we're going to try another restart here. Green-white checker style for heat race number 4, your 4th and final heat race of the night here on TDTV, the home of the Dirty Old Bastards 360 and 410 Sprint Cars. So as we get set to go back green flag racing again, another green-white checkered attempt. Dykstra, Voiles, your top two. And now that 26 going to lead us to, or the 18, excuse me, on the car, going to lead us to green as he got around the 22 of Brandon Voiles just before the caution last time. As we come around down the back straightaway, going to be one lap to go. This time by going to be white flag from the flagman high up in the perch. Remember, top four advance to the feature event. That fourth car is Shane Gallo currently. And no challenge right now from Gary Offit in the number 94. So Dykstra, your leader, down the back straightaway for the very final time. Fourth and final heat race it is. Checkered flag out of turn number 4 for Zach Dykstra. Brandon Voiles second. Brian Moore third. Shane Gallo will round out the cars transferring to the A main. Gallo up 6 spots in the heat race. Gary Offit sixth or fifth. Harl Streaker comes home sixth. And Christopher Lynn going to finish us out in seventh in a dirt midget with missing the top of the car. So that cuts us straight into our B main event that is coming on to the speedway now. As we will show you the lineup for your B main here. There's Daniel Harrell in the number 31 going to lead us off from the point. Outside row number 1 will be Christopher Lynn in 48. This is actually the C main, I believe. Excuse me, C main event coming up now. Kenny Hoffman alongside Tyler Henselman, row number 2. Row number 3, Jonathan Lowe, Greg Parmalee. Row number 4, Kevin Click and Michael DeGrande. Row number 5 will be Lane Stevens and Mason Hannigan. Hannigan got a long way to go, baby. Stephen Hill, Larry Moody on row number 6. And your 7th and final row. If it'll pull back, there we go. Come on, thing, come on. I know we got 14 cars in here. There we go. Ryan Broderick and Tim Alton out of Canada rolls off from the 14th spot. So race fans, a 12 lap, excuse me, B main event here. The first of 2 that we're going to see so far on the night. I believe this will be your... I keep saying B main. I believe this is the C main, and we're going to the B main up next. So there is a good look at your front row. Christopher Lynn, Daniel Harrell. Of course, Christopher Lynn in that final B main, or in that final heat race, excuse me. I'm mixing all my words here tonight. In that final heat race, Lynn finished missing his wing on the top of the car. Got it back for this C main event. And he will be outside row number 1. Daniel Harrell rolls off from the point here as we head down the back straightaway. I believe that pace car going to be taking a hard left-hand turn into the pits. And we're going to get started here with a 10-lap C main event from the Knoxville Raceway in Knoxville, Iowa. This is your DOB 360 Sprints C main event. We're green flag racing. What a jump for Harrell, and terrible start there for Christopher Lynn. Caught sleeping, now to the bottom. He's going to filter all the way to the back. Man, up front, we're going to have some fun with this one. Everybody just about single filed out. Top 4 go to the B main. Kevin Click already to the top 3. Good run so far for the 25. Let's take a little bit of a camera shot in here. Let's ride on the walls and see these guys come flying past you. Well, now the caution flag gonna rear its head once again. Looks like Larry Moody, Tim Altman involved in a collision here. And we'll take it back in the replay mode. Take a little bit of a TDTV rewind, see what happened here between the 14 and the 173. Or the 64 and 173, excuse me. Oh, that's what happens. As you see, a lot of cars involved there. A bit of a calamity corner heading down into turns 1 and 2. Ricocheting from car to car, which brings out caution here. Just a lap into this C main event. for the DOB 360 sprints. Coming off of the tail end of our little turn it up action there as we rode on the wall and saw these cars just blazing fast around this half-mile Knoxville raceway. Again, good to be back with DOB, as we'll be covering not only these 360s on Tuesday night through the end of September, but all the way through just about the end of the year. We will have the DOB 410 sprint cars. And as far as the schedule goes for TDTV and the DOB 360s, of course, this week we were at Volusia earlier. That was won by Tyler Schell. Knoxville we're currently at. Then next Tuesday night, we will go to Lima Land and USA for a 40 and a 30 lap feature respectively. And then on September 20th, Kokomo Raceway over in Kokomo, Indiana, and we'll also go to the Cedar Lake Speedway. And then on September 27th, we'll go to Weedsport and Lanier, and that will round out the action for the 360s here on TDTV. But with the 410s, we got a whole heck of a lot of racing, and it all starts this Thursday night as we head to the Lima Land Motorsports Park and the Volusia Speedway Park for round number 1 on Thursday night. But we're back green flag racing here in the C-Main as Daniel Harrell takes us back to a green flag over Kenny Hoffman. And Kevin Click up to third already. Let's check on Mason Hannigan. That number 1 car trying to bob and weave, pull out the 5Ds of dodgeball in order to make his way towards the front here in this C-Main event. Hannigan up to 9th. Currently, we're watching along as he tries to weave through traffic behind him. Contact and a wreck. Christopher Lynn around. And that'll trigger caution once again. Lynn up on the wall. And that may bring an unfortunate and early end to the guys' night that started outside P2. Here in this C-Main, Mason Hannigan so far just up 1 spot. We're keeping a close eye on last season's points champion as he's looking to make this main event the hard way tonight. But back up front, it's been all Daniel Harrell so far. And now Kenny Hoffman gets up in front of him. Might have missed a lead change there as Kenny Hoffman now takes that point spot as we were following along with Mason Hannigan. I believe Kenny Hoffman able to take the lead away from Daniel Harrell. Lights still on the iRacing pace truck as these guys go into turns 1 and 2 here. Beautiful, beautiful night for racing here at the Knoxville Raceway here in Knoxville, Iowa. So it's Hoffman, Harrell, Click, Lowe, Stevens, your top 5 as we sit currently. With Mason Hannigan still back there in the 9th spot. He needs to go a long way in a hurry as we'll restart with, I believe, 7 laps to go possibly. Lights are out on the iRacing pace truck as it's going to dip down off of turn number 4. We're going to be racing once again here from the Knoxville Speedway as we head down the back straightaway. As you see there, the lights out on the iRacing pace truck. So Hoffman going to lead us back to a green flag. Harrell second, Click third. Low 4th, rounding out the final transfer spot for the time being. Going to restart into 6 laps to go. We're back green flag racing at Knoxville. Down the front straightaway we go. And off into turns 3 and 4. Hoffman into the wall. That's not where you want to be. Allows Harrell a little bit of a run on him down the back straightaway. Click right there to challenge for P2. And we're still racing here as these guys... Oh, over that wall down the front straightaway here at Knoxville. And caution waves again. So caution will wave once again. Let's see here. I believe Stephen Hill involved in that one. Mason Hannigan also nowhere to be found. As Mason Hannigan possibly involved as well. Let's take a trip back here and see if we can figure out exactly what happened with Hannigan. Yep, Mason involved there in the one machine. As he gets to the inside of the 4-4, oh, and up into another machine. Hannigan involved, and that will probably bring an unfortunate end to his night here at Knoxville. As the field cycling back through here as live timing and scoring is concerned. So tough break for Mason Hannigan, who was fighting to get back into a transfer spot here in this C main event. Last season's points champion, not off to a good start here tonight. So here we go, out of turn number 4, another restart here. 4 laps remain, make it 3 when we cross the line. Hoffman and Harrell, your top 2. Click and Stevens round out the 4, going to the B main so far. 3 laps remain here at Knoxville. Down the back straightaway we go. We'll contact one around at the back. Will it trigger caution? Not just yet. 2 laps going to remain. New leader out of turn number 4. Harrell was able to get around Hoffman for just a second. Hoffman able to take it back away down the front straightaway as those two still battle for the lead. Click third. Stevens rides around the 4th, coming to the white flag. 1 lap remains here at Knoxville in C main. Looking to advance the top 4 to the B main event. The last of that top 4. Final transfer spot lane. Stevens trying to hold off Tyler Heinzelman in car number 40. So out of turn number 4, here comes Kenny Hoffman with barring a challenge from Harrell late. He'll win it. Yes, he does. Hoffman wins. Harrell second. Click third. Stevens makes it to the B main. He'll finish 4th. And it's Henselman, Lynn, Moody, Parmalee, Broderick on the speedway to round out your C main event. Coming up next, B main to the grid. As these guys looking to determine who are going to fill out the final spots for the A main event. And here is your C main, or your B main, excuse me, for the DOB 360 Sprints. Round number 1, session number 2 here from the Knoxville Raceway. Darren Detweiler, double D in the 3D machine, will lead us from the point. Ernie Williams Jr. to his outside in number 91 after finishing in the top 3 in our first race of the night. Tyler Schell, your winner in session number 1, will start from the 3rd spot here in the B main. Gary Offit in the number 94 machine will roll off outside row number 2. Row number 3 will be Joshua Paquel, Michael Sheridan. Row 4, Brad Lamberson and Harl Streaker. Row 5, Chris Schaefer, Dustin Graffitz. Row 6, Kenny Hoffman, Daniel Harrell. And your final row will be Kevin Click and Lane Stevens. As ladies and gentlemen, this one is for all the marbles to fill out your 24 car field for tonight's 35 lap A main event here at the Knoxville Raceway. Who's going to take it home? Who's going to fill up these final 4 transfer spots? Will it be some of these guys in the top 4 right now? Detweiler has looked good all night long. Williams Jr., he got a top 3 earlier. He could be very, very fast in this B main. Tyler Shell, of course, a pro series driver, awfully fast at earlier tonight at Volusia, could easily make it back to the main event here. I mean, we've got some really fast drivers here. Michael Sheridan in 15, he's quick. I mean, Arnold Streaker, he could be one of those guys that get into the top 4 here. Who could it be? We got, I believe, 10 laps to find out as the iRacing pace truck dips down off of turn number 4, and Ernie Williams Jr., Darren Detweiler on the loud pedal, and we're green flag racing here at Knoxville once again. As we head down the front straightaway into turns 1 and 2, there's Darren Detweiler, double D, in the 3D machine. Williams in second. Shell now to second. Look at Shell on the bottom here. Tyler Shell looking good so far. 11 laps remain. Excuse me, it was a 12-lap B main. Yellow flag gonna wave here. I believe that was Harl Streaker. A couple of cars involved here. Schaefer involved. Dustin Griffiths. Those two stuck together in a Rocket League Rule 1 right now. Neither can get off of each other, as that will bring out caution for the first time in this B main event. And there they go. Now they're unhooked from each other. Goodness. Schaefer off of Griffiths. Very rough there. That will, again, bring out caution number 1 here for the DOB 360 Sprints B main event from the Knoxville Raceway. Goodness, ladies and gentlemen. This has been a heck of a night so far. A little over 2.5 hours into this live stream. Appreciate everybody for stopping by. Make sure to hit subscribe on the channel before you go. And if you don't keep up with my other things in the racing world, go ahead and give an ad on your favorite podcast platform to the Talking Dirt podcast. Releases every Thursday or Friday. Whenever we're able to record it. As your field currently works down the back straightaway, looking like we're coming to a green flag this time. No, maybe not, as I see the lights still on the iRacing pace truck. So we'll take one more pace lap here. Darren Detweiler currently is your leader over Ernie Williams Jr., Tyler Shell, your top 3, with Gary Offit currently holding down the 4th and final transfer spot to the A main event. Off of turn number 4, field fires once again. Detweiler, good restart in 3D. As we head into turns 1 and 2, Williams Jr. back to the second spot. Will fall right in a line. Shell to third. Shell very, very quick so far. So is Ernie Williams Jr. Just about gets into Darren Detweiler. And down the front straightaway we go. Going to click off another lap here. Going to be 9 laps remaining. Or maybe 8 laps remaining now. So Detweiler, Shell, Williams, your top 3. Then it's Offit rounding out the 4th and final transfer spot, but he's being challenged right now by Joshua Piquel. Joshua trying to make a run on him down the back straightaway here at Knoxville. Slide job from Piquel to the top. Into the wall goes Piquel. And now back to the bottom goes Offit. Offit, not the direction he's wanting to go in right now, though, as he's now being challenged by Michael Sheridan in 15. Here comes Kenny Hoffman, winner of the C-Main event. Now to the backside of Offit. Sheridan into the 5th spot. That's your number 15 of Michael Sheridan there. Oh, spinner down the front straightaway. I believe it's Kenny Hoffman. No, not Kenny Hoffman. It's Gary Offit in the number 94. Hate to see it from the penthouse to the outhouse. For Gary Offit was riding around in a transfer spot and now finds himself at the tail end of the line. Couple of cars going to enter the pits here. Looks like they'll be done for the evening. Back up front, we've had a heck of a change, I believe, while we were watching that battle that ended in caution go on. As right now, I believe Tyler Schell going to be scored the race leader. Darren Detweiler second. Ernie Williams Jr. back to the third spot. So it looks like that's working again. Your field going to come around here and get their one to go to green. As out of turn number 4, I believe, going to restart this race once again. New leader Tyler Schell. We're going to be watching this battle for the transfer spot. Joshua Piquel in the 33 holds it. A lot of people want to take it away right now. Schell on the loud pedal, dominant so far in this B-Man event. And he's down and away into turns 1 and 2 is the number 85. We continue to battle Detweiler right behind him. Behind them, though, Ernie Williams Jr. tries to hold off Joshua Piquel. Michael Sheridan looking pretty fast in 15 as well. So now with 4 laps to go, we work down the back straightaway, down the front straightaway now, and across the start-finish line. I believe going to work us into 3 laps to go for Tyler Schell, your race leader. Detweiler still second down the front straightaway we go. This time down the front straightaway we go. Yes, indeed. As Tyler Schell continues to lead us here at Knoxville. Piquel still in that 4th and final transfer spot. As our last time in scoring awful slow here. 1 lap to go. There's your white flag for race leader Tyler Schell. And he will head down the back straightaway for the final time here in this B-main event. Detweiler looks like he'll finish second, but off of turn number 4, Tyler Schell will win your B-main. There's the checkered flag. So Schell first, Detweiler second, Williams Jr. and Joshua Piquel transferred to the A-main event. First one out, Michael Sheridan. We'll have to watch this one from atop the toter. Kenny Hoffman finishes 6th, Lamberson 7th, Click 8th, 9th goes to Harrell, and the rest of the field will round it out there as we head into our warm-up. Not sure how much of this warm-up they are going to run, but we're going to take this time. We're going to reload our overlay there and see if we can get it back up to date before we take to the grid for our 35-lap main event here at the Knoxville Raceway. Excuse me, I was way wrong in calling that. There's your B main results. I believe top 6 actually transferred to the main event, being that we only had, or top 8 maybe actually transfer in, as we only had, of course, 4 heat races. Excuse me, that was my bad there. But your top 8 transfer in. There's your B main results as we line up for your starting grid for tonight's 35 lap A main event. Rolling off from the pole will be George Streaker Jr. in the number 17 car after a great heat race earlier in the evening. Carter Chevalier to his outside in 115. Row 2, Cameron Pritchard, Zach Dykstra. Row 3, Braden Eiler and Ryan Scheit. Row number 4, Eric Whitner and Brandon Voiles. Row number 5, Alex Rzenski and David Smeal Jr. Row number 6, John Batista and Brian Moore Sr. And row number 7, Nicholas McGeethy, Chris Roberts. Row 8, Miles Jansen Jr. and Shane Gallo. Next row back, Tyler Shell, Darren Dentweiler. Then it's Ernie Williams Jr., Joshua Piquel, Michael Sheridan, Kenny Hoffman, Brad Lamberson, and Kevin Click to round out the field here. As we come off of turn number 4, green flag gonna fly. It's already the 17 machine off to a big lead. That's George Streaker Jr. So something going awry here with live timing and scoring as caution flies. Not sure exactly what's happening here, as we are only 2 laps into this race. I believe there may be an actual issue with iRacing here, as they have not taken green yet, possibly. I'm not sure exactly what's going on here, but yellow flag is waving, as George Streaker Jr. will be your race leader. Or possibly a bit of a warm-up session. I'm not exactly sure what was going on there. I didn't see anybody crash. Actually, it may have been Chris Roberts, possibly. Oh, these guys throwing me for an absolute loop here tonight. I'm not exactly sure what's going on at all. But your 17 of Streaker, I believe, going to lead us back to the green flag. So back with us here at Knoxville. Trying to get a couple of laps scored here, and quite a few cautions already in this A main event. Guys beating down the outside wall, causing a couple of cautions on the start. So I believe we're going to cycle through and get ready to go back green flag racing once again here from the sprint car capital of the world here in beautiful Knoxville, Iowa. As the green flag is going to wave once again, Carter Chevalier going to take us back to it into turns 1 and 2. Green flag going to fly into lap number 5. And a big pile up at the jump. Goodness, boys. What is going on out here? And everybody up and over. What in the world is happening here at Knoxville? I'm sure race director Chris Roberts is not happy in the slightest right now, as this race so far has been turn 1 parking lot party since the jump. Where's Matt Pridgeon when I need him? This has not gone the way that anybody expected it to so far. So it looks like we're going to try this again. So we're going to restart this race here on lap number 6. Bakel up into the top 6 right now. That's the 33 car. That blue machine that you saw for a while in the B main event that made some moves. Here's a live look at what's going on right there on the track. Spakel battles to the inside of Darren Detweiler in the 3D machine up in front of them. Lamberson holds down that 5th and final spot for the top 5. Alex Rzazinski in fourth right now. David Smeal in third. Eric Whitner in second. And Carter Chevalier on the point right now. Battling for second right now is Whitner and Smeal. Smeal looked to the inside, nothing doing. Detweiler riding around in the sixth spot trying to chase down Lamberson. Right behind him, though, Joshua Paquel with a heck of a run in the 33 car. There comes Brian Moore with Cameron Pritchard right in front of him. John Batista trying to load up a shot. As we're looking down on the field right now, Braden Eiler trying to work his way back through the field here in the 005. Eiler up into the wall, one up and over right behind him. It's Miles Jansen. Miles Jansen up and over, going to trigger caution once again here with 23 laps to go. So Jansen triggers the caution. Chevalier still your leader here at Knoxville. Been a wild night so far here for round one of the DOB 360 sprints. And it's already midnight here on the East Coast, and we still got about 20 laps of this race left. With Chevalier still your leader, Smeal second, Szerzynski third, Lamberson, Detweiler, Paquel, Whitner, Pritchard, Moore, Batista, your top 10. And we thinned out the field a whole lot here, as I believe it's only going to be about 15, 16 cars left on the racing surface as we sit. With Carter Chevalier going to lead us back to green flag racing here once again. Looking like a night at Sumter Speedway right now. Everybody fighting for position very hard, and we've seen quite a few incidents because of it. But out of turn number 4, looks like we're going to get started once again here. Carter Chevalier on the loud pedal, and we're back green flag racing. Smeal, good jump for Smeal. He's right behind Chevalier. Got to make the challenge early if he wants it. Into turns 1 and 2 they go. Down the back straightaway, Chevalier continues to lead us here at Knoxville. So going to be 23 laps to go with Carter Chevalier, your leader. David Smeal second, Szerzynski. And there goes Paquel to the bottom. Paquel trying to make some moves. Nothing doing for him as he's now 3 wide with Detweiler and Lamberson. Contact again. Caution flag will fly. Man, oh man, the caution flag not afraid to be thrown here at the Knoxville Speedway. Not afraid at all is the caution flag of being thrown here, as it is seen once again. With 21 laps to go in this A-main event. So green flag gonna fly once again here. There goes Carter Chevalier on the point. Smeal second. Szerzinski third, and then a Hornet's Nest back behind him. You see that in yellow car down there. That'll be Ernie Williams Jr. And behind him is Michael Sheridan. As we continue to race here, 20 laps going to remain this time by. So we continue to race here with the DOB 360 sprint cars. 410s coming up on Thursday afternoon. You see Joshua Piquel trying to come from the back towards the front here. As up front, Carter Chevalier has his hands full with David Smeal Jr. right now. And the number 5 car, Szerzinski, rides in the 3rd spot. Eiler up to 4th. That's Braden Eiler in the 5 machine, trying to make his way to the front here. Bouncing off the wall. A big part of why we've seen so many cautions so far. As we look back at Chris Robertson, Eiler, and just as I was talking about him, up and over. Caution, flag will fly. Not exactly what I was expecting here for leg number 2 at Knoxville, as this race has brought forth a lot of things, and a lot of things being cautions. But Carter Chevalier right now has been the benefactor of all of those, as he's got David Smeal Jr. behind him, Alex Szerzinski, Cameron Pritchard, Brad Lamberson. Tough ride there for Joshua Piquel, not Joshua Piquel, for Braden Eiler. As Joshua Piquel took a tough ride earlier, he'll pull into the pits to repair some damage. Michael Sheridan in the 15 car trying to make his way back towards the front, as is the man right in front of him there in the 93, Chris Roberts, as well as the number 3 of Darren Detweiler. There's Tyler Schell, your round 1 winner in the 85 car, trying to make his way towards the front as well. But these guys, they get in a good rhythm for a couple laps, and then caution has flown every single time so far tonight. So it looks like we'll restart here with 18 laps to go, still having problems with live timing and scoring updates. So we're just going to see how many laps to go we got and then turn it back to the full screen cam as we head down into turns 1 and 2 with Chevalier, your leader, and then Contact in second. Beating and banging, pinballing off of each other as all of these guys trying to fight for position. There's some on the bottom, some on the top. Looks like that top working just a little bit better as now Shell into the top 3 here. As behind him, more Contact. And guys going around, and caution flag will fly again. Man, oh man, DOB. What is going on here tonight? Not the DOB 360s that I'm used to, as these guys struggling to cut some clean laps around the Knoxville Raceway here tonight. So it looks like we've currently got 16 laps to go. Whenever we get back going, green flag racing here out of turn number 4. Looks like Chevalier on the loud pedal here, holding off Schmiel, and we're back green flag racing at Knoxville. So 15 laps going to remain as we take the green flag. Shell to the inside. Your only pro driver in the field left after Braden Eiler had his incident earlier. Chevalier still with the point, though, but here comes Shell on the bottom. That 85 car cooking for him right now as he'll slide up the track. Does Tyler Shell? Nope, not quite. Shell going to stick to the bottom down the backstretch. Got a good run there for the 85. Bottom might be where it's at here on this fixed setup. As Chevalier still all over the wall in car number 115. We're still green here with going to be 13 laps to go for Tyler Shell. Your new race leader out to a commanding 2, 3, 4 car length lead at the line this time over Carter Chevalier. So back on board here, Tyler Shell leads David Smeal Jr., now Chevalier, back to the 3rd spot. Cameron Pritchard 4th. Chris Roberts, the Catfish, in the 5th spot. Shell down the front straight away here. Just a handful of laps remaining for the young man looking to go 2 for 2 on the night. Had to do it the hard way from the B main to the main event. And now Tyler Shell, your leader. You're at Knoxville. Again, it's 7 laps to go for Tyler Shell. Down the front straightaway he goes. Going to be 6 laps remaining, this time by at the line. So 6 laps, make it 5 fingers this time for Tyler Shell. Chevalier second. We look back through the field here. No big battles going on. There's Ernie Williams Jr. in the number 91 there. 3rd place finisher from the first event of the night. 5 laps to go for Shell. Make it 4 this time. There's Carter Chevalier currently 2nd. There's David Smeal Jr. currently 3rd. Chris Roberts up to 4th in the 93 car. And Cameron Pritchard now in the 5th spot in car number 21. Who's working back to the outside of Chris Roberts. Shell off of turn number 4. I believe this one will be 3 laps to go for car number 85. So it's Shell, Chevalier, Smeal, your top 3. With not 4 laps to go, I believe we're coming to a white flag this time for the number 85 of Tyler Shell, who goes down the back straightaway for the very final time here at Knoxville. Again, I got some work to do with our live timing and scoring before the next event, but out of turn number 4, the 85 Tyler Shell, 2 for 2 as he wins Knoxville. Chevalier home 2nd. Smeal home 3rd. Pritchard 4th. Roberts 5th. Rounding out the top 5 as fireworks go off here at Knoxville. Here in Knoxville, Iowa. And Tyler Shell 2 for 2 on the night. Gotta feel good for driver number 85. So we will pull up your A main event results here tonight. And show you guys exactly how Tyler Shell gets it done once again as he heads to victory lane here at the Knoxville Raceway here in Knoxville, Iowa. As there you see him on your screen right there, race winner Tyler Shell. And the number 85 machine. As I'm going to hopefully pull him into the booth really quickly to have another word with me here. And somehow I'm down in the general chat. I don't know how the heck that happened. Well, here we go once again. In here with race winner Tyler Shell. Tyler 2 for 2 on the night. Even though I'm having some technical difficulties up here, that car has looked good both times. But you had to do it. Had to do it a little bit difficult. With a little bit of difficulty here at Knoxville, coming from the B main event. Man, how'd you get it done there? Crazy main event, by the way, too.
Yeah, it was definitely a crazy race. I definitely didn't think I even had a shot with about 10 laps in. I didn't have a nose wing, and my top wing was all bent up. But my crew went to work and got it all fixed up and had a fast out rod again, and it was able to just roll the bottom there and miss a wreck or two, and was able to get up to the lead.
Well, absolutely, man. That brings you for 2 for 2 on the night, and already going to be a nice little points cushion as we head towards next week. I mean, is this kind of a series you plan to follow here? DOB obviously been around for a while, but if we're able to clean it up a little bit, this racing could be good. What are you looking forward to in the future?
Just building on momentum. I missed probably 8 races last season, but hopefully I can race more this season to be more of a fight in the championship. And just, yeah, the fixed sets are, I think, good. It brings different people out, different people up front and stuff, and it's a lot of fun racing with that because it's just an equal playing field, and you just can come out and race. You don't got to worry about anything. Just put the setup in and let her rip.
That absolutely is. It changes things a lot for DOB here, and we see a lot of you guys really just trying to get used to it here. We saw a lot of people in this race, live and die by the top, and it took a lot of it killed a lot of people, trust me. But we saw you more so on the bottom, able to make those passes, and you passed for the lead there. Is that something you just kind of figured out as you watched these guys, hammer the cushion? Did you just say, you know what, the bottom might work too here? What was that all about?
Yeah, I wanted to try the bottom. Everybody was up top, so I was like, yeah, go where they're not. And tops sometimes treacherous, and I knew in 3 and 4, if you could hit it right, it's a lot quicker. Just with the wind and stuff, a lot of people didn't want to run it because it was hard to hit. And then in 1 and 2 with the wind, it made it easier to stick the bottom because the wind was forcing you down there. So that was also a lot better, and nobody was down there, so I was just able to have a clean track.
Well, it works for you here. You go 2 for 2 on the night. Tyler, give another shout out to those lovely sponsors before we head to another event next Tuesday.
Yep, just like to thank everybody who puts us on, you guys for broadcasting. I'll see you on Thursday nights, hopefully the whole season, I think. And then I was up Swim Sport, and then More Than Tires, Paints by Tuna Again, Her Got Real Estate, and Jessa Logistics.
Well, Tyler, once again, congratulations, 2 for 2 on the night, and we'll catch you on Thursday night here on TDTV with another episode of DOB.
Yep. See you.
So that was race winner Tyler Shell. I believe I'm going to try and pull in next here second place finisher Carter Chevalier. Carter ran a great race, and I'll pull him into the booth here once again. Tyler, we meet again. First off, great run tonight. You found yourself on the point, led most of this race. But then, here comes Tyler. He was bad fast all night. What can you say? But overall for you, phenomenal race, getting yourself a top 3 here to start the season.
Yeah, it kind of stings a little bit knowing I could have just done something a little bit different and probably won that race. But, oh well, we'll learn from it and we'll keep going. It's a long season ahead.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. Very, very long season. Of course, you got these guys on Tuesdays. Do you plan on running any of the Thursday stuff at all? I believe we're going to some different tracks, but, how are you looking at the season? Again, first week of the season. So how are we looking in broad scale so far for this year?
Well, there's 2 things. One, if it's fixed setup, I'll be doing it. If it's open, I won't be, just because I don't want to have to race against the experts.
Right.
Second thing is my my real racing depends on what happens with that. I think I got a couple Thursdays left, so probably won't be running for points in the 410s, but I'll show up every now and then. But for the 360s, yeah, we'll try and get there every week and make a points run.
Well, good thing. We certainly hope to see you every single week here. Racing for points with these 360s. But one more question about tonight. We saw a lot of you guys, live and die by the top, and then we saw obviously Tyler come in on the bottom there. What was your mindset as we hit about the halfway point of that race? The top starting to go away a little bit, the bottom starting to come in. Was it more protect the top and see if you can escape with the lead, or were you like in your head thinking that you should maybe search the track a little bit for speed?
Honestly, I had no intention leaving the top. I just felt like I was way better than everyone. Not everyone, but besides the top 3, I felt like I was better than most up there. And if I could keep my momentum up, they weren't gonna be able to get around me. But then I had no idea there was anything on the bottom. Then all of a sudden, he just blew past me. So, kind of shook my head about that. Tried the bottom and just he probably had his wing back a few more clicks, which probably made the difference right there. But we'll be happy with second, and we'll keep going. I want to thank P1 Performance Esports. We're making a Pro Series run this year for the iRacing Pro Series. Nick McGeethy, Miles Jansen, and then, of course, my dad with actual P1 Performance. So, yeah, we're going to keep digging and keep doing this, and then hopefully make a Pro Series run.
Well, absolutely. Good luck in that, and good luck as we head forward here in the DOB season, Carter. It took us a while to get here. A crazy main event, but congratulations on a solid top 3 run.
Sir.
So again, that was Carter Chevalier, driver of the number 15. And next we'll go to rounding out our top 3, David Smeal Jr. out of Madera, Pennsylvania. Let's pull David on in here. Hey there, David. It's Ryan up in the TDTV tower. You got a copy on me, buddy?
I gotcha.
Man, what a crazy main event there, man. It was probably the most caution-plagued event I've seen with DOB since, finding the series a couple of years ago. What was it like through your driver's lens, your perspective there? Because, man, that one was absolutely insane.
I said to my spotter at one point when that big one happened in front of me, I said I might need new underwear.
Right. Yeah. you were right there in it too. That was kind of a clinch and drive moment.
Very much so.
Well, man, other than that, pretty solid, clean race from you. You're living and dying by the top there. Tyler was able to find some speed on the bottom. Same thing as Carter. Was there ever a point in this race where you're like, man, I really got to get out and search this track for some speed, or were you just kind of, stuck to the top there for a while?
I was comfortable running my line. I knew cheating entry at 1 a little bit and catching that slider. I was gaining on Carter. I could see him getting a little bit closer. 3 and 4 was my problem in the corner. I couldn't run the top as comfortable as I wanted to. My cut down line didn't work very well. And then one caution, my spotter said, hey, shell's on bottom. Just so you know, I don't know if it's fully there yet. And, we all know Tyler's one of the best. Like, if I lose to him, heads up, I ain't got nothing to hang my head about. And a P3 against a field like this is a win to me.
Hey, man, absolutely right. We head to Lima Land in USA next week, and 2 extremely different and both technical tracks in their own right. How are you feeling as we head into those two tracks?
Lima Land's a track that I have a comfortability at, but it's one of those things where I need to find a groove. USA is, as much as I hear a lot of people talk down on it, it's one of my favorite tracks because it's very momentum based. It's very, you've got to give it everything you've got to get every spot. So that's a race I'm really looking forward to.
Well, hey, we look forward to seeing you there. But before we let you go tonight to celebrate your top three, who do we want to thank on the car for helping you get here?
Obviously, my boys and Turn 2 Terribles, my boy Chris Lynn, one of the best spotters in the business. JZ Photography, obviously my Racing PA Posse boys, love those guys to death. Everybody on this card, who supports me, helps me out. It's gotten me to where I am now. It's pretty awesome to think that I haven't been able to really make A mains, let alone finish in DOB, and to park it tonight. Knoxville is pretty damn cool.
Yeah, man, it was, and congratulations to you for that top three, and I will look forward to seeing you build on this momentum as we head into future events. But David, congratulations. We'll catch you in the next one.
Absolutely. Thank you.
So, again, that was your top three finishers here. I'm going to give it one more chance to pull up your results from tonight's A main event. And let's see, that's what I want right there. Thank you for SDK for finally working with me here. Tyler Shell goes to Victor Lane. Of course, Carter Chevalier, David Smeal Jr. round out the top three. Then it was Cameron Pritchard, Chris Roberts, Kevin Klink, Red Lamerson, Michael Sheridan, Darren Detweiler, and Ernie Williams Jr. Your top 10. Then it was more senior, Pakel, Batista, Voyle, Straker Jr., Dykstra, McGeethy, Szerzynski out of the top 18. And then rounding out the field, you had Braden Eiler, Eric Whitner, Miles Jansen Jr., Brian Scheit, Shane Gallo, and Kenny Hoffman rounding us out here from the Sprint Car Capital World at Knoxville. Guys, it's been a blast, but it's been long, and I am ready to get to bed. So for myself, Mr. Ryan Williams, my broadcast partner, Mr. Matt Pridgeon, who had to exit early, this has been round one of the DOB 360 Sprint Cars from Volusia and Knoxville, and we will catch you on Thursday with the DOB 410 Sprint Car Series.